Hello, Matt. I'm a little late. Finished dinner a little late, and I wasn't set up. Hello, hello, hello. I'm only getting tearing downwards, too. Okay. I think everything's set up, but I gotta go use the restroom quick, so I'll be back in 1 sec. I've returned. All right. There we go. This is still being weird. Michael is still eating or something. Maybe he's petting his horses. Got enough of them. What were we doing? Oh yeah, we were working on that. But I think we're kind of mostly done with Poke and Derpy. I do think I need to go and make a dirt skin for all the horses, but I'd have to make it from scratch. And also, I'd probably have to make a couple versions of it, because like Applejack and Trixie can't have the same dirt skin. Sweetie and Apple Bloom could here, because they're opposite sides, but Scootaloo would have to be a little different, and the shape of those old textures is different too, because I don't want to have it like the dirts on the eye the same way on all the characters or something. He's turning the dinner table into his pony merch shelf. No, I don't think he'd do that. It's too far from his room. He needs to have it close. The horses have to be in close proximity. Don't know if I had this one before. This is an orange cream ale. This is minimal hops. Yeah, it's not really hoppy. It's actually kind of more sour, which is weird for a cream ale. But anyway, so we do have to still kind of figure that shot out, and then that one too. We could probably clean these ones up a little bit. I'm gonna have this does, because we're gonna have to figure out what to fill in this area, but technically that's already done. Because right now the dirt and crap that's on the ground is not special. I probably am going to because I don't want to have it where this is the actual scene, like you can they're already down there, because if you did that it would make it like you could see Barry Punch like punching him, and that's not, it's not, it kind of ruins the joke. So it means I probably should redo the stuff in this scene enough so that it doesn't look anything like the other one, which shouldn't be that bad, because those rocks on the ground are not going to be kept. They're way weird looking. So yeah, I'm going to start with this one because this is just a zoomed in version of the same shot. So if I figure out for this, it's figured out for the other one too. Anyways, how is everybody doing? Frash Sentley. I don't remember writing that, but okay, I guess I did. Oh yeah, we should clear out crap too. How is it's Tuesday already? I had a coworker at work that thought it was Monday, and I don't know how you mix up those 2 days, but he did. Okay, that actually I don't even know if any tree is visible. Yep, none are visible. Building. I'm doing very bad. Michael got me and my son killed in his FTL run yesterday. My corpse is still tuning in from the empty void of space. In your son? I didn't know that you could have families. Congratulations on the kid. And I'm sorry for your loss. But you know how Michael is. He likes to kill things. Junior Edward. Michael likes to, he tends to min-max, and he will, oh, should I keep a lamp around here? I probably should. He likes to min-max, and he also likes to take big risks, because he has said before, he likes to make the game as difficult as possible, so that when you win, it's like you pulled it off some crazy way, but he ends up losing a lot more because of that. It's one of the reasons I know Michael really wants to play 7 Days to Die on stream, and the one reason I haven't wanted to is because he has put so many hours into that game that the whole thing is just going to be him min-maxing, and I'm not a fan of min-maxing. If you're min-maxing, you're not having fun anymore. It's just algorithms. I like that random chance bit, and it's just going to be him telling exactly what to do, when to do it, and what's wrong, and no, that wouldn't be fun for me. Do I keep the grass? It is green over there, so probably, yeah, I'll keep the grass. And then what can I get rid of? This. Okay, so this trash bags I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep some of the barrels too. And so I think I'll get rid of everything else over here. Something very solid. It's just the boss got a lucky missile hit on cloaking in the final stage and some mind control, and you went from pretty good to on fire, no oxygen, low weapons and shields, and hull blown to bits. Yeah, that sounds right. So Edward says you killed him.
Oh, yeah.
And his son.
Yeah, there was an Edward and there was an Edward Jr. No one survived. We got to that boss and he killed us. It was a bummer. I thought we had him, but they got a few good hits and not survive.
Was Derpy on your ship?
Yeah.
Was Derpy the captain?
No, she was...
Wait, were you the captain?
No, Silver was the captain.
So, wait, Derpy got promoted before Silver.
Well, I can't remember.
I'm sorry, Silver got promoted first.
Yeah. But Derpy got to be on weapons, I think.
Well, she does like murder.
Yeah. Just your class. Get your shit out of my way.
It's my room.
So, I saw you name this stream Carter's Love, Carter's Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean that is the love?
To do in your heart, I guess.
Yeah, that is the love cart. Is what I've come to understand.
I'm just trying to come up with new sayings with videos because it's getting the. Anytime I try to come up with something different, I'm like, I
like Carter's Love. It's the love cart. It's where people who are full of life and love go.
No, they're all dead.
No, it's life. You said life cart.
Yeah, it has to do with life and the lack of.
No. Big Derp.
She wants to know where Edward is. I'm like, oh, he's in space.
Well, it was kind of funny because Edward was one of the mantises that I was sending on the ships and he died. But also my Mike was also the other mantis and I kept coming back, but the people I took with me kept dying. Oops. I was like, shoo, good. That was close.
Well,
I'm surprised I actually lost that. Sometimes the dice just don't roll in your favor.
what is with this one bag?
The one with the body in it?
Oh no, this one.
Oh, I guess whoever made this model made it for something very specific and there was something in front of the bag there.
Yeah, maybe. Kind of makes this a little difficult, but I think if I kind of
put like a brick or something in front.
like if I do it like this even, that's fine. Because at least it's hiding, and it's been over so long the dirt spilled into it. Kind of makes it look like the trash spilled out a little bit.
I think that's what it's for, is that you're supposed to just put some spilled trash in there.
Probably has a pre-made one.
Yeah. So, I'm curious of something. Are you planning on getting the Game Boy Advance games to work in the other room?
With one of the consoles, if they do, maybe.
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's a pony game on the Game Boy Advance that I need to get.
Like Gen 5?
No. Gen 3.
Ooh.
It's called Pinkie Pie's Party. I want it. It's gonna be amazing. Just be downstairs playing it all day.
I did get all the stands for the games, or all the containers. So all the cartridges are up there now.
It's good. I was distracted by the fact that on my beer can there's the feet of an eagle squishing berries, and I don't want birds anywhere near my drink berries, because they're gonna poop in the berries.
Adam picked that one up.
Yeah, it's all right. It's sour.
You know, picked up, but he picked up a bunch of sours and stouts, and those are the two that I'm kind of like. I don't like sours and stouts. I'm like 50-50.
But I do like
I know, so you got all the stuff that I'm not gonna touch.
The strawberry one's actually pretty good. You might like the strawberry.
I'm not. It's just the sours don't leave a taste I like.
Yeah, he's saying that the card has layers. Layers of love, lively ponies.
I turned to 2 dirt streaks. I thought I only had. I really don't need this one. I need 1, and then I can copy this one. I just didn't want to have to go and find the models again. But this is a really good model for just adding some depth to the ground. Except for like, I have to keep it at this level. If I go lower, then it looks weird. It just has this weird transition bit on the edge, which is really cool. It makes it nice. Makes it look like it belongs.
I don't know if you were watching last night, but I had to switch over to FTL because I was trying to do the Philly fantasy thing, but I couldn't figure out what to do. And then it's like, you want to, one guy's like, it only took me 4 hours to get the cursed armor uncursed.
Oh yeah,
4 hours.
It's you get it as soon as you can because it's 100 combats. So you get it as soon as you can, and then just continue with it.
Yeah, I need to like level off stream, I think.
Yeah, there's probably still other things to go do.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what they are though, because I was just in the game, like going through game facts pages, trying to figure out what I was gonna do. And then I think some things have changed between Philly Fantasy and Final Fantasy VI.
Some of the side quests, maybe.
Well, like some of the items in the arena, I think have changed.
Oh,
Stuff like that. So it's like, okay, do I have to find the Philly Fantasy FAQ now? Who the heck has that?
that sounds like something you would have.
It should. Need the big strategy guy with all that fan on.
Can I just cover the ground in this type of dirt and make it look like really roughed up terrain?
Works.
It's that I'm worried about.
Yeah, well, as long as the camera's not moving, it shouldn't.
I like having the camera move, kind of, sort of, whatever. It's the lighting might be a little bit different though, because in this shot it's going to look one color, then in this shot it's going to look a little different. I think instead I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it like there's just some dirt piles around, and I'm going to just find some random other dirt stuff to put in.
I just love the implication that Ponyville is just a rampant shithole before Twilight goes up.
That would be a fun video. Like, this is everything that's going on in Ponyville. It's just literally just a trash heap, and then she pops in and it just goes boop. Like, oh, the princess is going to be here. Everybody behave. And then they all just are.
No, they just continue acting up, or she will melt all of you. And then they're like, yay.
And I just like that. It's always been a shithole, but only when Twilight's around is it ever fine.
She'll report to the princesses.
Like, okay, back to the purge. Purge.
And Princess Celestia just like shows up towns that are a little too unruly, and she just vaporizes them. Keeps the ponies in line.
I did a video about that.
You did, except she managed to vaporize the whole planet, so I guess she was just done.
It happens.
Yeah.
I don't know why she hasn't been just done many times before.
It's thousands of years old. They worship her like a god. Like, Twilight can take over, but Celestia is not just a princess, the ponies. She is a deity.
Deity?
Deity? Yeah.
Okay, so I need not trash. It's technically rubble, but if I just make it very small, I gotta save. I can probably kind of just make it look like it's filling the area. Let's see. Well, actually, some of not this one. This one has come in handy before by just popping it out of the ground a little bit. But usually that's if you have stone ground. This is dirt. Probably not going to work as hot. Yeah, it's going to stand out, but I think I can at least use it.
I'm trying to think if there's any other race besides ponies that could move the sun. Because it is implied unicorns can do it if they work together.
Well, how would earth ponies do it? Like, they just yell at it a lot?
Throw a big rope.
Yeah.
No, you either have to have the princesses or unicorns, but I don't know that they're like Kieran's maybe be able to.
So how did the world exist before they existed?
What, before unicorns?
Yeah.
Did you not read Australia?
Australia is a fanfic, Michael.
Best you're gonna get. My favorite version of it, of any fanfic, is just what was it? Anon's Pie Adventure. That's what it was. Where Equestria is Earth that got pulled away from the sun, and the unicorns came out of hiding and used their magic to create an artificial sun that rotates around the planet. And it made them all smaller in doing so. And then that's the world of Equestria.
Feels like a really forced method. So how did that work? It's Earth and it's real horses, and they're smaller.
Well, they were unicorns. They were in hiding.
Where were they hiding?
Caves and stuff.
Caves and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
There is a cave supposedly, I think, out in like California or Nevada that like houses some other race, and it's been like nobody goes near the mountain because it's really spooky and there's weird things, but supposedly underneath it is a large city of another race. Like I think it's where the Atlanteans went to go hide.
Oh, neat. I'd have to visit it sometime.
After everything went to shit for their civilization, and they've been there ever since.
Oh boy.
It's it's a little weird.
No. Urban legend kind of thing.
Yeah.
There is some caves where there are species of animals that only exist within those caves. Like I think there's like some weird lizard that reproduces like by just cloning itself over and over again.
Lemurians or something, right? So yeah, I think that it sounds familiar or something like that. But yeah, it's supposedly there's legend of somebody going into one of the caves and finding some amazing city. No proof, but
there are
and other weird things.
Caves. There's this one cave that I think has a lot of sulfuric acid in it. And some of the animals in the cave have evolved to actually take energy from the acid. And then there's these like cool rock, like they sent in a group with cameras and stuff to this cave for the first time. Some of the formations inside of it are otherworldly. It's a geologist's dream, I'm sure. Because it's a whole ecosystem that is completely based itself around sulfuric acid as opposed to sunlight.
There's a lot of things on Earth that we always thought life would be rare, and then we saw all these crazy places that life can exist on Earth.
Yeah.
And we're like, how the hell did you manage to do that? And it's like, okay, well, maybe we're wrong. And
like a lot of things.
It used to be like we're a rarity, and it's starting to get to look more like life is an eventual result.
Yeah.
Maybe not intelligent life, but that life or something considered living is an eventuality with time.
Didn't they do a computer program recently where they put in like the building blocks of what make up basically the primordial ooze? And they're like, eventually, yeah, something is going to just line up in a way that just starts self-replicating. And that's the beginning of life.
Underpants.
Yeah, it is underpants. But the fact that like creatures who live on sulfuric acid exist on Earth, and then I think of like Venus, which atmosphere is comprised of a great deal of sulfuric acid. I'm like, okay, then is there life on Venus? It's just not life as we understand it.
That the only reason I could say that wouldn't exist is because the conditions on the surface are. It's not just sulfuric acid.
It's hot as hell.
The atmospheric pressure is super high.
But not as high as isn't like on the bottom of the ocean. There's life down there.
I think I don't remember.
So it was that high, it'd be liquid.
But sulfuric acid has it's going to cause a lot of difficulties, but there's still certain requirements. And yeah, life could find a different way, but they've kind of tested a lot of things to figure out like silicon can be used in place of carbon.
Yeah.
It's just more delicate. So life could evolve from it, but it would be much more fragile. But it could, and if it can, it probably will at some point. But there's still I don't know if Venus could. There are definitely places. I don't think Mars would anymore, but there could be remnants of something.
They found like remnants of tube worms.
But yeah, but they can't prove whether or not it's from there or if it was planted from somewhere else.
Well, it could have been contamination on the machine.
So that's why they're still looking into it, and they have to actually prove it. Like they can't just say like that looks like tube worm, so it is. No, there's like one of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn, I think, is like they think oceans, multiple layers underneath, and so that's a high probability that they think that you could.
Titan, was it?
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah,
no.
Mount Shasta in Florida. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. A very spooky mountain. We should try shooting some bacteria onto Venus. This surely would not have any consequences. Actually, they did say there is a layer of Venus's atmosphere, a certain amount miles up, that is actually considered to be about our atmospheric pressure and has oxygen and stuff. But that means that the whole species would have to evolve in the air, which is not impossible. You never know.
That's why
yeah.
In Cowboy Bebop, they do episodes on Venus, but they're actually on floating platforms above the surface in that area where there's like livable space. Also,
the reason that I don't think life would be really possible on Venus is because anything we've sent there, not even just pressure wise, but just because of the acid and everything, it just gets eaten away so quick.
Yeah.
So what would you have to be made of that would be available for living creatures?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are creatures on this planet who live in sulfuric acid.
Yeah, but they would be tiny little things.
Now, they're pretty big.
So
they're like weird worms and shit.
Yeah, it'd still be like kind of difficult. And you can't just have an organism because they need to eat something.
They eat moths, I think, that flew into the caves.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is they're getting their nutrition from some other organism. So if it's been evolving for a while, is there an ecosystem of a lot of these creatures? So
yeah,
because you can't just have one species of something.
But yeah, but it shows life can exist in sulfuric acid and even benefit from it.
But yeah, like what is the pressure on Mars? What is the pressure on Mars? I don't want to hear myself. There we go. Okay,
it's a number.
So this is what I'm thinking. It's Venus air pressure. There we go. It's 75 to 100 times that of Earth.
Well, that still isn't like ocean depth, like deep ocean.
Uh,
14.7 pounds per square inch.
Yeah, but that's not. We'd have to convert that.
That's still going to be way higher than, or way lower than that. Maybe.
According to the pressure experienced at the ocean depth at about half a mile.
Okay.
But it's also 900 degree temperature.
Yeah, that's the
so it can melt lead and zinc.
Yeah.
I don't think things are going to exist.
It's very hot.
Because anything that you would have that would be able to live would probably have to, like, we exist at a higher temperature and we have to dissipate it because living, it makes heat. So they would probably have to deal with the same. I don't see Venus being having any life. But we've been proven wrong on a lot of those type of things before, so you never know.
We've explored. We know very little about the surface of Venus. Russia sent one probe that took 2 pictures before the.
No, we sent one into the planet, and
Russia did.
Yeah, and it landed. And we took some pictures.
Just 2 pictures.
I think it survived
working
like 10 or 15 minutes before it was dead. But considering what we had before, that's a lot of data.
Well, that probe was like landed back in like the 80s or something. It was forever ago. But the pictures they got were pretty good.
A picture is better than nothing.
Yeah. They're still the only ones I think to have landed anything on the surface of Venus and have it survive. Good for them, I guess. Hello, Flutter Crits.
Hello, Flitter.
Good evening.
You have a lot of extra letters in there, but you're fine.
I like it. How are you? We're talking about aliens.
I don't really. Maybe just rocks.
I'm trying to find Horse Planet.
Ooh,
Pretty sure horses live on Venus, and they're made of sulfuric acid.
that looks flat. Sideways, but
If you try to hug them, you'll melt. Would you hug a magic pony if they were made of acid?
would you?
A quick one. I can.
What if they
afford
want
to
a
lose
nuzzle?
little skin on my arm, and then I have to patch it.
Thing is, some of those burns, it only takes a little bit, and then you're kind of just.
It'd be like look like Two-Face by the end of like.
I mean, if you do enough traumatic injury, you can still die from it because of infection.
Yeah, Flutterkits, but if you wear the suit, you're not really hugging the pony. Like,
But if you're screaming the whole time?
Give it scritches.
I guess you'd be screaming if it wasn't acid too, because you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
Pony.
Oh, these are all individual bones. That makes this much easier. I just don't want to load tons of rocks, but this it'll take me an extra minute still. But technically,
And put the acid pony in the center of a pony convention and just watch all the bronies go extinct.
hello, every pony. My name is Mustard Gas. How are you?
Give a boop snugs. Dead.
Yes, get a good deep breath into its fur.
Mm-hmm. It got big floofy chest. Yeah, put your face in that.
Cheers, Biden.
What you drinking?
One of the orange cream ales.
No, yeah.
It says minimal hops. It's almost kind of like it's got a sour flavor in there, but it's almost borderline sour because it's actually very tangy.
It is a fruit thing, so.
But it still says cream ale. But I would say it's still more ale, but there is definitely it's very tart.
Citrus fruits are a little different than other fruits as far as taste is concerned.
Well, the Indeed's done the tangerine cream ale, but that one is definitely cream ale, and it was very good. I miss all their cream ales. They don't do those anymore. Now they're just doing like IPAs only.
Now they got like in this state at least they got the THC drinks they're doing now too.
Yeah, those of it, I think it's just been really popular. So like everybody's doing it, and I hate it because that's all that you can find now.
Also, you're kind of prevented from touching those.
Yeah.
Not that you would anyways.
I probably wouldn't, but yeah, I don't want to have I could lose my job. So yeah, I'm not gonna risk it.
They would have to legalize it federally for that to change, but who knows when that will. That's not even like I don't think that's even a big political issue that anybody's running on this election.
I think there's plenty of other issues that they're going for the ones that are going to give you the most votes, and they probably did plenty of studies and stuff to figure that out.
Well, half the states have already legalized it, so fewer people are saying anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're already fine from their perspective, but there are very rare situations like mine where it technically does make a difference.
Yeah. You kind of had to be careful early on when they started doing that, because I didn't know that was a thing. And then I'm seeing alcohol in stores like, here's a new thing, and I'm like, I want to try the new thing. But then you got to like look at the fine print. It's like, oh, this is not alcohol.
Well, it is alcohol. Sometimes it's still beer.
Yeah,
or like an
it's just
alcohol.
mixed with,
It's usually super low amounts, but still.
Because personally, I don't have a problem with occasionally partaking, but I want to know
Yeah.
ahead of time, because that's a day.
I think that the count that they have in that stuff is just literally so low, though, that you're not of concern.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what was low and what was high until I made a mistake.
I don't think you're gonna drink a beer and then suddenly just be like floating on cloud 12.
An hour and a half later, because it was 125 milligrams. I mean, I see the stuff they sell in the stores, and it seems most of the time it's 50, and I already think that's too high. Maybe I have a lower tolerance than some people, but
It might be like a difference between having an imperial beer and stuff. They just have different ones out there, and they're just, you've been seeing the ones that you shouldn't be doing right now.
a lot of that stuff doesn't kick in for a lot of people until an hour in, and if you've had 2 of them, you're in trouble.
And you're drinking, and so you're already lowered inhibitions, so you're probably going to be just pounding a bunch of them. But no, I think a liquid's going to go through much quicker, though. A gummy has to dissolve, where the liquid's going to go boom. I mean, it's still going to take a little more than like smoking, but
It's going to hit you after the fact either way, and by that point you might have made the mistake and it's too late. You can't stop start is the thing. You can't undrink the things you've drunk. Littercrits is like, what is this issue you're having? I don't understand. Oh, I don't know what the laws over there are. I remember Amsterdam was famous for a long time being like the one place you could go. Now, I imagine it's kind of hurt their tourism.
I don't think so. They still have plenty of things.
They have really cool canals.
They still have window shopping for partners.
Prostitutes? So does Vegas. I thought I want to go to Vegas.
Well, I'm saying literally, like in the windows and whatever. I had a friend that was there or that lived there, and he'd say, "Yeah, you just can go. Sometimes go down the streets and you see the women standing in the windows, and like just like whatever." But they also probably get treated better, have better protection laws, and probably get paid much better too. So I mean, it's a little different than what that would be here.
I do want to go to it. It does sound like a beautiful city.
To where?
Amsterdam. Not because of the thing you just said.
I thought we were in Amsterdam.
We were at the airport. It's not.
We were in Amsterdam.
Kinda. It's like,
Yeah, when it comes down to like what states have I been to? I've been to Atlanta's airport, but that's the only time I've ever been there. So I really don't know if I count that being in Georgia.
I've driven through Georgia. Does that count? I didn't stop for much more than gas.
I saw Greenland.
Yeah.
So does that mean that I've been to Greenland?
Sure. Enough.
Yeah, because we that was kind of cool seeing just the super edge of Greenland.
It was very pretty. It was all mountains and stuff.
Yeah, and very white.
Very snowy.
And very snowy. A lot of canals and stuff. It was very pretty. I very much liked seeing that. It was kind of just literally skimming the edge of the country, though, because
things are really looking up for them.
Yeah, because they're really far north.
Yeah, that's true. Also, they're like discovering a lot of lithium mines, which is
it's going to be big money.
It will be, especially.
Well, it's going to be big money now, but bigger money over time, because we're never going to lose the need for lithium.
Yeah. The majority of lithium mines currently are all in China, so it's good to find other sources. In Greenland might be it.
Yeah, and if Trump wins, we'll probably own it.
Yeah, I forgot that would happen. That was very odd.
That was very odd. But that was, I think, during his last run. He mentioned something about that.
Yeah, about buying Greenland.
Yep, because that's what you can do. You can just buy countries.
I mean, the Dutch do own it. They're selling.
I thought the British did, because I thought they owned everything.
They did at one point. The Dutch had the iceberg.
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all of these, and then we're gonna grab this one. Oh nope, not delete. We're gonna bring them all over. I want to see how my light there, how the lighting works or looks on the ground with some of those little rocks, because I'm thinking that they might cause a little bit of shading and then darken the ground, and I want to see if that happens.
We were out of hot dog buns. I ate 2 more of the hot dogs. So now there's only 1 hot dog.
There's no hot dogs.
There were never any hot dogs, they're an illusion. But we had some old tortillas that expired last month, so I decided to use 2 of those. So I made.
Well, I thought you were going to say, and they were very green, but no, I've consumed them.
I consumed 2 of them. So, but I made burritos out of hot dog and spaghetti and Cincinnati chili. So I got my chorito that I was talking about, the burrito, Cincinnati chili style.
Oh, jeez.
It was so good. Probably the best food ever.
I want to get a little bit of the light on her face. I think that's what we got there.
I'm pretty sure the Dutch are not going to sell Greenland Sunset. I don't think they were going to sell. I think that was just something Trump wanted.
And even if they did, it would be so astronomically expensive that, considering that the debt that we already have right now, because they're talking like bigger than corporation costs, so like you're probably talking lots of zeros.
Yes.
This isn't the Louisiana Purchase where you just kind of stole it from somebody for almost nothing.
Yes, I think it'd be a heck of a thing to just suddenly have everybody's nationality change, and with all the people who live there.
Outside of war.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. I don't like the idea of a country buying another country in any way. Because the first time that happens, then it's like, oh, that's a thing? No, we don't want to get that far. That's when there's too much money out there, is when people start buying that. There's already rich people buying islands and stuff.
Yeah.
I should do the dirt gobo. I think, well, I know
we have bases all over the world.
well, I find it funny. So last week tonight just did the Hawaii episode, and I swear last week tonight just comes up with what topics to do from watching Wendover Productions YouTube channel.
You think so?
Because he comes out with videos like within a month or a month and a half of Wendover doing a video about it, usually on the same topic, and a lot of times references Wendover in the video.
Yeah. Cool. Good for
And
that.
actually pulls clips from it. I'm like, it feels like it's looking like, that's a good video right there. We're going to put it on TV instead. And it's like, they've done it like 5 times now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
I like Wendover.
talking about the topical thing, I suppose, at the same time.
Well, there wasn't any like big change local or in the short term for any of those things.
Yeah.
It just happened to be he did. But then actually using the Wendover video too.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably worked out for Wendover because they probably gets traffic there, and Wendover makes excellent content.
Yeah, sounds like it. Just have a little ice.
Until they shifted and started crushing the facilities, they decided to dismantle them. U.S. had a long-standing presence in Greenland. Well, the U.S. has a long-standing presence everywhere.
Yes.
The amount of money they give countries just so that they can have a military base there is kind of ridiculous.
Also, some countries want them there because it brings in soldiers, which bring in money. Just spending it, like the huge base over in Italy. There's a whole industry around the base that just caters to the soldiers in the base. Not to mention the protection that the country gets from its adversaries by the U.S. base being there. So it's kind of, and then yes, the U.S. pays for the base to be there, so it's kind of a win-win situation for them.
It kind of, I don't like that it's again, you take advantage of a rich position to stretch your military might to every little place everywhere, so that, well, if you have a military base there, that country's never a problem now.
Well, you're also protecting, it's U.S. protecting its interests around the globe.
Yeah, that's the only reason that they do that. It's not protecting the people there.
No, it's just,
they have no care for the people there. It's only to protect their own self-interest.
They care for the people there to the point in which would their government coming apart affect the U.S. negatively financially? And if the answer is yes, then they care.
Yeah.
U.S. protects its interests, and sometimes that means protecting its allies and the people.
Only because those allies are of interest.
Yes, yeah.
You know, you work in IT when you type, I have cash on me, and not I have cash on me. How often do you type the word cash?
Cash me outside.
Because I can understand like having the phrase or close at hand, but the spelling are wrong. I'm trying to think if I've had any of those. I know I've had it before. There was, when I used to work in trucking, there was certain words that I would type so much that started the same, that anytime I started a different word that started the same, I couldn't stop myself from typing the first, like the one I typed all the time. One of our file structures at work is cache, so I deal with it every day. Avidao.
Beautiful down.
I wanted to put the little dirt stuff on the ground, but it's
derp stuff.
It's. Oh wait, if I just do, boom. Okay. I don't usually like enabling shadows and stuff like that, but oh, does it?
You know what? I want to make an example for if I'm going to do that panel about modding. I want to make an example of a mod in progress. She's doing the little. Like
she's doing the Gumby,
the stick bug dance.
No, that's what I thought would happen. The shadow is still there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of that.
So I want to do an example mod for the mod panel, and I think I know what mod I want to make. A quick and easy one. I want to turn the head grabs in Half-Life 2 into tiny Pinkie Pies. So tiny Pinkie Pies run around and try to grapple your face.
And for the entire preview,
yeah,
you have to play the Monty Python song, Sit on My Face.
Yes.
Oh, okay. If I do the minimum. Okay. I knew there was one of those sliders I could do to fix that. Okay. Sit in my face and tell me that you love me.
That does sound nice. Of course, I'd have to, if I played that song, I would have to raise the rating of the panel.
Right.
To like PG-13 or something.
My thought is, and I've done this before with panels, just use in the room.
Yeah.
You can, as long as you don't like who literally go off the walls for stuff. If you don't see a kid in the room, it doesn't matter. It's not like, oh my God, that person was 15.
But it's My Little Pony convention. Children will be everywhere.
They're in the kids' room where that one person is getting very special attention.
Yes, that one child who actually showed up. They're getting to paint pony pictures. Like the Charlie Cons try to do something with kids every year, but
They always provide really cool events, and
there's
usually
like 4 kids.
the amount of times that those events also are with like special gas and stuff, and they like say nobody else can get in. It's pretty cool, and it's not just one. I know of at least one person that always brings their kid because they were a brony before the kid was born, and so they bring them. And there's a couple kids usually, but I don't usually see them wandering around. Even BronyCon, I never saw them. But that's also, I don't see many people flying their kids out to a con like that. But if it's local, like when my nieces and nephews were younger, they came to one. They came to one day of MLPMSP. Yeah. But they were like 9, or the oldest one was 10, 11.
That's around the right age,
Yeah.
I think, for pony. I don't know. I think I was 28, a little older.
Just a little bit.
I need to start working on that panel if I'm going to do it, though. There's a lot more work into that one than there would be a derpy appreciation panel. But I have more ideas for it.
And the worst thing that happens is you just get to release a mod.
What, the Pinkie Pie?
Yeah. Think of all the people that would just loved hearing that song play. Oh, and there's Mickey's too.
Because Source is a pretty easy one to mod. Especially
Well, you know that one really well.
Well, yeah, I know the Bethesda one really well too. I haven't used it in a bit. But I know pretty well. And then I know Unreal pretty well. I've actually never modded a game in Source. I pull models from Source. No, that's not true. I modded Left 4 Dead years ago. That was a Source game. So did Nightly. You know, that's who I could have on the panel with me. If he could forgive me.
Yeah, that might be tough.
Because I learned that, I mentioned this to you, I don't know if Chad knows, if you ever played Left 4 Dead 2, there's a mod out there where you can turn the playable characters into anthropomorphic horses. That was Nightly. So, and I knew about that one super early fandom, and he told me he made it, and I was like, wow.
He was running what was that game? Ashes Town.
Mm-hmm.
He was running that entire game for years.
Yeah,
I think he's backing away from it now, but I don't think he's actually fully backed away. But yeah, he's like the one in charge of it.
It's my understanding he's like head of it still.
He's been trying to get away from it a bit, but it's been tough because it's still, like he said, it's kind of a baby.
Is it Jay Haller leaving the fandom situation?
No, but I can agree with it. If it's something that you've really invested a lot of time and effort into, and a lot of like the Patreon and stuff are locked to him, his accounts, that also doesn't help.
Tanya, we need to all pull our money together and genetically engineer us some talking horses. That'll get people all interested again. That's what I want as a pet. He wants a cat. I want a magical
I want 2
pony.
cats.
I want poop in a box.
Okay, so you have something in common.
It's gonna poop in a box and be fuzzy and small, which is its only redeeming quality.
I'm gonna try something. I want him to blend with the ground a little more. I'm gonna try putting a negative light there and see if I can make him just darken ever so slightly. I thought that was.
He showed me Ashes Town one time, and it made me sad because he just made a derpy character just to make her step on landmines.
I think I had that server Ashdown. They changed I thought they were changing. There's a lot of. I don't know what I can say or not say on some stuff because they're doing things.
I don't know anything past that it exists.
Oh, I know why.
Fallout based.
I had it backwards.
I don't like anything where ponies die.
I like that the first thing he did in the game was he went and he made himself derpy and then ran into a landmine.
Mm-hmm. No, he's an evil jerk. Why you have to torture the foxes more?
Okay, so now you have to decrease the red because that increases the red.
My stomach. There's nothing I can do for it. I ate the chili cheese burritos with spaghetti in them and hot dogs. Of course my stomach's gonna do that.
Okay, so I think that kind of works, but I really don't like how much it's darkening his neck first. But I think maybe like just that alone is a big improvement. I really wish I could also shadow him a little bit more, but to do that, I'd probably have to aim the camera different. Because right now it's not the camera, the light, because it's kind of pointed down at this direction, which means it's going to get light under there. I don't think I could play in that style. I've heard a hard time with watching horses getting killed in Hunt Showdown.
I don't. I've read a lot of Fallout Equestria, but that game just seems very geared to just ponies shooting each other and nothing else. And I'm not really keen on that.
I never really got the whole thing of like if you're into like that kind of like dark stuff,
You know,
why did you pick to be with horses? Maybe is it because like you already like the dark thing and trying to pull it that far from the like if you're doing it from something dark to darker, it's not that far of an extreme, but if you go from cute horses to dark, it's that wider breadth is better for you. I don't know.
Say that for me, I enjoyed Fallout Equestria because
That was just a good story. It wasn't about just gore and stuff.
well, no, it wasn't. But when it came to the characters, I cared more about them because they were ponies. That might seem a little messed up, but that's how it is. Like if I saw a child running for their life, I'd be like, oh no, child. If it was a filly,
Oh no, child.
oh no, child.
Run, child, run. Nah.
But if it was a cute filly running for her life, I'd be losing my mind. I'd being so engaged. So yeah, I like the books because the characters made me care about them. As opposed to a lot of books where I just could not give a crap. Like I read some of the Star Wars stuff. I honestly didn't care who lived or died. I couldn't bring myself to care. You started rereading Australia. I don't blame you, but I have some bad news.
Rereading means you've already read it.
Yeah.
It's still a good book.
It's so very without an ending. And don't tell me you just have to stop when they go over the edge. It's not the ending.
You just have to stop when they go over the edge.
It's like the intermission.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good.
No, ever since I bring up Australia, I have to check.
It's not.
You don't know.
Australia will start up again when 15 AI starts getting more updates.
Yes. the last post was Thursday. And it says, I wish someday in the author's absence, fans will unite to finish the series themselves. That's not how anything works.
No.
You can't just make up your fan fiction of the ending of a fan fiction.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I'd rather have it unfinished because then you're just getting an ending, not the ending.
We'll let ChatGPT finish it.
That's probably what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Last update, March 1st, 2021.
Sansa, did you ever finish the entire series, or did you get to some point and are just rereading it for lulz?
I mean, you haven't finished it.
Yeah, I have like 25, 30 chapters left, but that's about as long as some fics are. But I know that if it's not going to finish, I don't see any value in it, because I'm going to go from one unfinished point to a different unfinished point.
But that was different unfinished point is seared into my brain. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so I don't want that. I had to finish my drink before slapping my leg.
It's torture. It's just another Half-Life with an unfinished story. That's what it is. It's Pony Half-Life.
I don't know if you noticed, but
Final Fantasy 16 is on the PC now, or will be soon. 3 weeks.
You can play the demo now, and I played it last night. It's just over 2 hours, but it's about 15 minutes of combat and an hour and 45 minutes of cutscenes.
It's a lot of cutscenes, and
none of them are pre-rendered. They're all just built into engine. It is. It had a little bit of a rough start for me, but once I started getting into it, I started really liking it. But its DLSS support is crap.
Yeah,
it's just blurry. Apparently, FSR 3 works better. But NVIDIA usually puts out driver-specific updates, but at release, it's probably just got to have that.
Yeah.
It says it has ultra-wide support, but its ultra-wide support is that it says it's ultra-wide, but it's just putting black bars to make it 16:9. So I don't know if that'll be changed either. And the performance can be a little iffy. It's pre-renders all the shaders, but it's definitely looking like shaders are still popping in. It has a little bit of stutters, but we have a full month, and I'm going to guess that it's an NVIDIA update to the drivers. We'll probably fix it. But apparently AMD cards are even rougher. So,
Chad, I think I know what needs to happen. I think the story of Australia was passed on to somebody else to complete, and they didn't pick up on the cue, and they've just been really lazy about it. Because I heard that somebody had the author's badge passed to them, like a passing of the torch of sorts.
I don't know what I was supposed to do with it.
You were supposed to complete Australia.
It was literally thrown at me.
Yeah.
And like a gift for you. And I'm like, what? And yeah, so I have it.
He does.
I don't know about anybody big into that thing that I'm supposed to give it to.
You're supposed to make another video about Australia.
They gave me an IKEA cabinet without the instructions.
Yeah.
So I'm just left with all these pieces. I don't know how it fits together.
You're supposed to be inspired to make another Australia video, which in turn will inspire the author to continue writing the book. If you had...
you're saying I'm the one at fault.
If you had a guarantee that doing another Australia video would lead to him continuing to and finish the book, would you do it?
By finish, do you mean literally going to the very end?
Yes.
When would they start?
The second you finish the video and put it up on YouTube.
How long of a video?
As long as the last one.
Can it be no effort?
No, I don't think that looks like it'd probably take effort. You'd have to do the scene over Foxstar, of course. That's like the cool.
No, I'm not doing that. That would take forever. I did have a different Australia video that I had planned to do at one point. That was going to use a song from star set called Halo. It was a certain part of it. It was probably going to be a minute something long.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to be like overly ambitious. It would have been pretty easy.
When did you release the Australia video?
2017. When did I make that? Actually, I can't
Was
check
that only
this.
back in 2017? I feel like it was not that long ago, but then again, I'm getting old and everything feels 6 years ago.
Just
So
2018.
Something.
It depends. Let me check the date. It's 2017.
Okay.
But we're coming up on the anniversary of it in like 2 weeks, so just about 9 years, or not 9 years. No, would that be 9 years? Yeah, no, 8 years. 8 years. 7 years.
You
I
know
can't
what
remember
month?
math. September.
Yes.
He made a post about it,
Yeah,
but I think he was still making content at that time.
he was. He was still actively writing it until oh goodness.
I think it could be finished if you feed the whole thing into an AI and then use the author's own notes in the future chapters. Yeah, you need to use the notes, otherwise it's just going to come up with bullshit. It would follow things maybe for a little while, but also I think you'd hit a word limit. I don't think you can actually pass it that entire book. That's like 3.5
But if
million
you ran it
words.
off your own personal server.
It depends on how that yeah, because they have to prevent hallucination.
Yeah.
They have it reset itself.
You could do anything if you have it set up on your own personal, but which isn't that hard.
I was doing something here with him. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Oh, I was doing the fog.
he initially stopped writing it in 2018. I was hoping, to be honest with you, that him starting to write it again would correspond to your video release date. I'd be like,
No, I know that. No, because he was already writing the normal whatever at that point. So
he was writing it pretty consistently until what, like late 2018. And then he picked it back up in 2020. Wrote for about 6 months and then stopped again. And that was when I started reading it. It's when he started writing it again. And I was like, I guess if he's gonna finish it. What a fool I was.
the only thing you wanted was Rourke.
Yeah, Rourke was cool because he made kisses.
Oh boy, Rourke. Let's go to the hammock.
Oh, hammock Rourke. Well, that was a comic somewhere, wasn't it?
That was Scope
Oh yeah, this is Scope.
with the oh boy face.
Let's go to the hammock. Love that hammock.
He just did that post one time, and then it got really popular on the Lemur server, which is the official Short Skirts and Explosions server, Discord server.
You only had that hammock on the ship, but there was like one time when they're on a boat in the ocean, and she tries to build a hammock out of potato sacks, and it falls apart. She's very sad.
I think that's the one thing I liked about the story the most is I like stories that have because it's a really long story, so they kind of have some parts that they hit like a refresh point, they get rid of characters, they bring in new ones, but they still have those running gimmicks that always just kind of sit, and they make fun of it over time.
Well, the rainbow
like
is the one
hammock
thing that doesn't change. She still wanted her hammock.
Yeah,
Because the nice thing about when she was on the noble jury is that she was moving, but she could actually rest and just kind of chill on the ship while it moved. Whereas pretty much at all other points, she physically has to be the one moving. When she was on the jury, she could actually like sit down and have relationships. And she did.
go kill the horse. The horse
Look at
things.
those mooches. All the horse mooches. Oh boy. I always imagine when that book ended, she would spend a little bit of time in Equestria, being that they all returned home. That's how my brain wants to end it, but then after a short while, she would leave again to head back to work. She'd be all the more battle hardened.
Oh boy, work.
Oh boy, work. Because I get that. There's no, in my mind, if she survived the entire trip, she would want to go back to work.
Okay, so copy. We're going to just delete everything in this group.
Because, spoilers for the book, Rourke was definitely the one character who could not have followed her where she went. Like, others maybe could have. It would have been rough. It was rough for her. It would have been rough for anybody. But because of the way it worked, Rourke would have, like, gotten 2 steps in and just over. He would have followed her if she could have, but she couldn't.
Oh boy, work.
And they realized that pretty quick.
I think that fog helper is.
I also
lighting,
imagine that when
it's
she
fine.
reached the other side again, that what would be waiting for her at the other side would be Floydian in the noble jury, the rebuilt one
With the shimmer glimmer.
with the shimmer glimmer, because his whole thing was when she continued going east, he went west again. And I imagine if he kept going nonstop, he would reach the edge when she did.
Maybe.
That's how the see that's his book.
But see, that's where chapter or books 13 through 24 come in. He's going around the other side.
I imagine when she gets on there, it's be smooth sailing. Because I think, what was it? Celestia is like telling Rainbow before she goes to the other side that they had already made contact with the kingdoms on the other edge.
I've never gotten to read Australia. I know you're talking about.
Go read it. No, don't go read it. It's not finished. Get sad.
No, there's some. Oh look.
No, look your book.
Yeah, no, that's the small one.
That's the incomplete one. It's because you're on break.
Oh yeah, Google's image search is much better.
It is.
Yeah, so this is the
That's
just.
the uncolored one. But
Is there a colored one?
pretty sure there's a colored one. Let's go with the
No.
uncolored one.
It's got Australia.
Yeah.
So like this is this is how big Australia is. So this is Equestria. Then you have Wintergate and Alberaldine, Darkstein, Silverdell, with so I think this
that's
is
where the first book cuts.
this is book 1 right here.
Yeah.
Is before there. Then Lidomare, which actually takes up like 2 books.
2 books. Lynn.
And then you got Stratopolis bits, and this is all in a weird line because it's supposed to be that the whole world is on the edge of on the edge of a ring that
It's
had broken.
a broken ring.
Yeah, and so there is nothing beyond those edges. And there's a lot more to that lore. But then so then you get to Alfrio. That's Michael's favorite.
Oh yes.
Duranda, Velroa, and then it just keeps going. Then the Grand Choke.
Yeah.
I like that
Which
symbol.
is a
That's
huge
pretty good.
Physical divide.
Yeah. Followed by the Great Sea Tower, and then the island. So they definitely.
Going.
No, this is the end.
That can't be the end.
Yeah, there's
Then you don't have the full map.
this. Yeah, there is definitely more.
There's definitely a bigger map that has the whole thing up to the edge.
So all I'm seeing for the maps when I do a search for it I don't want that one.
That's the short map. It's like
That's just book 1. Yeah, because there's a lot more in the water area. Oh, that's from the water area.
That's when she shaves her head. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not seeing it. But it's a very long book, and there's so much that happens in it. It's really big and long.
I love the scene with the hairstylist when she comes in to get her head shaved, and the hairstylist is just looking at her. It's like, your hair is beautiful, and you want to shave it off? Yes, all of it. Get rid of it. And she's like, are you sure? Like, please don't make me do this. Like, goes to her manager, and the manager's like, customer's always right. But like, I go, what are you making me do? You have the most beautiful hair I've ever seen.
Equestria is bright and colorful, but anything outside of that, it tends to be much darker and dreary.
Emerald was nice.
There's still mixes in there.
And like,
oh yeah, Cadence Shining Armor did go west.
Yeah, they went west so they could meet Rainbow on the other side when she crossed.
If she did.
Yeah, if she made it.
Because that's a long way.
They were prepping for her arrival on the other side. They wanted to make sure that if she made it back, she would have an easy journey home from that point. And I imagine Floydian would be there too. There's work! And Rainbow, the kissing. Click on the kissy one.
No.
Oh, click on the kissy one.
No smooches.
Oh
yeah, there's scopes. Oh boy, work. Let's go to the hammock.
The lot when she got her head shaved.
Oh, here we go. This is the color one you're thinking of.
Oh, there's the whole one. Yeah, that's the entirety of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there was a colored one with the whole thing.
So yeah, boom, 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 boom. So we have into there, and then the grade C, which so this is literally the beginning of like book 8.
It starts at the first seed.
And then
it starts in the middle of the ocean.
Yep, and then there's a bunch of islands and stuff, and Rust and Shogoth. This is.
Quaid. Wait, it's still not all the way. Isn't there a finished one? It's still not the finished one.
It's still not finished. At this point, it's not going to go any further back.
Go to 3. What's that one?
Oh yeah, this is
it. That's it. That's the whole one. Yeah. They kept adding on to it and
yeah, they had okay. There we go. Red Barge, Prefecture, the snowy area, and then that's when they started. When you start getting away from the sun, as the curve goes around.
Blue's farm grows fungus.
So this area is always nighttime. Mm-hmm. And then the edge.
And the edge
of glory.
And that's most of the series, with the exception of one book that is unfinished, but it's a very long unfinished book.
So yeah, it's because like I think. Oof! I don't want to click your ad.
We made everything tiny.
Because I'm trying to get the fat. Because I think this is like book 1 is like here, and then book 2 and 3 go to like here, or book 2 to 3 go here. Then it's like 4 to 5, but I think this is book 7. Starts 7. It's book 7 and 8 take place all the way through here. Which are, to me, these are some of my favorites. This is the... You like Noble Jury, but...
I like Noble Jury, yeah. Like, I like them both, but if I had to pick which one I like more, it's the one with the kissing. There's so many good couples.
I liked Murder Chicken. Murder Chicken and some of the other characters on that side were good. Did you like book Bard? 9 I didn't like so much. But I understand why it was dark and gloomy and whatever.
Yeah, it's
really dark.
It's kind of shitty on the other side.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's got some of that. That's what's happening on the other side. It's awful things.
I think this is my favorite thing I've done in this video so far.
I'll be right back.
Poking that therapy. No, I'm good. Poking the therapy. Guys, You know, maybe I don't want to have the camera move because I can make this an infinite loop. Okay, so I think... Yeah, those go together now. Did I get rid of everything that would have been... that isn't needed? I think so. Derby won't remember nothing. She can't remember nothing. She got brain problems. All right, so I did put that light post there mainly because I wanted to potentially have it where I could use it as a light source, similar to like in this shot. Because right now I feel like Berry Punch is a little too well lit, especially when you start looking at this shot. I think she might need a little bit of lighting changes here, especially here. Go do that, and then we'll take the rim and reduce that as well. That's a bit better. I think let's just try adding the lamp and see how it turns out. I'm just going to take this lamp. We're going to copy paste it and then just give her some rim light to see if it works. For looks of it, there would be 2 books of Rainbow Flying back the other side. It depends. I feel like, yeah, there's 12 books planned. There had to be 12 books because every book had a gimmick. Every book's title starts with a vowel and goes in order to book 6, to where then it swaps and starts going back downwards again. So Astraeo, A, then like Elginborough, E, then like Invadar, I, then O, then U, then Y again, then U, then O. So that's the idea, is that she, crossing over and returning. But also every chapter's title, it starts as 1 word, then 2 word, then 3 word, up to 6 word. Then it goes 6, 5, 4. So yes, I think that the return trips would have to take less time, just because that'd be taking forever otherwise. It'd be such a long book if they had to take the same amount. Plus, you would think that she wouldn't have to worry about threats as much. But I also feel like you're kind of missing out on some potential cool lore of whatever's going on over in that place. Okay. Definitely bright. Going to be too bright, but that's purposeful in the other shot. In this shot, it's going to reduce it all. The bulb probably isn't needed. I'll leave it for now, though. I might need to back this up a little bit. What's this for? I think I know. I'm not doing that. We will move this, though. Okay, there, and then we'll take one of her. Yeah, this isn't being used, so let's grab this one. We're gonna grab our volumetric color. Oh, Kendo. Oh, she's purple. That is literally the opposite of yellow.
Doesn't that make it complementary colors?
I just updated this. Is this for Final Fantasy? Did they just slow?
You're just like Final Fantasy drivers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally updated my drivers yesterday.
Now it's time to do it again.
Yeah. Well, I finished the demo, but I might go back in there just to, because the very beginning of the game or the demo has a very intense scene going on, and that's a perfect one to like see is it improved.
I'm trying to I remember when we played Baldur's Gate for the first time, the waterfall inside the first town, the Druid town, lagged my computer out so hard. They fixed it later, but I was like getting 5 frames inside that town. I can't remember if I was still using my old, if I didn't have the, I think I was still using the 2070 Super at that point. Now I have the 4060.
Well, there's some people saying the 4090 is having issues, but it's probably just unoptimization.
Yeah.
So whatever. The one thing I will appreciate though is with all these games doing $70 launches, Final Fantasy 16 is launching at 50. It's kind of surprising. If you spend 70, you'll get all the DLCs that are coming out or are out.
Well, it is a year-old game at this point.
Yeah.
Most people who really wanted to play it already have. Fine.
This one is still 70.
Yeah, but that's Final Fantasy VII remake.
That one came out well before.
Yeah.
This one came out 2 years ago, and it is still 70.
Maybe it's the better game.
I do want to get it. I played the PS4 version, but Integrate has the UFI and stuff, and I kind of want to play through it again. But I am not buying it at 70. I think I was able to find a place for 25, and then that's much better.
It kind of makes sense that Yuffie would be around Midgar, but they are forcing it just a little. You can't get her
They're already changing the story in different ways.
You can't get Yuffie right outside of Midgar.
Yeah,
Though a lot of people miss her,
and that's the idea. Is she ties into the story, but not early on. I believe she comes in later. So, yeah, love the graphic. For Final Fantasy or for the Horsies?
The Horsies.
I'm trying to remember, was the Storm King and the Sea Ponies mentioned in one of the later books, or did the movie happen after the series hiatus? Storm King is not in there. The hiatus was before the movie, and Sea Ponies are not in there. No,
I don't remember.
They have
sea ponies, and
they have sea ponies, but not those sea ponies. You have the underwater E.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Talk about false advertising. Final Fantasy my ours is more like Final Fantasy that never ends. I had somebody I used to know that'd be like, it's not Final Fantasy if they never end it. Yeah, and like, because every game is a different everything.
Yeah, that's why
each Final Fantasy is they made some with like more, but then it's just, even those have an end. They're not like they're going on forever. It's all contained stories. I am finding the universe of Final Fantasy 16 interesting.
I've heard nothing of 16.
That's good though. That's
nothing about it.
I didn't want to. I was trying to keep minimal information on it, and I've heard good things, but I don't think it ever had the explosive draw that some of the others had.
Like 15.
Yeah, but like all the lip syncing is spot on English because they did prioritize it to English on this one. I sound like with Final Fantasy 15 had all English, but the quality of it dropped a lot for some of the like non-important stuff. This one, all of it was they had the really detailed lip animation, and then the still good ones. You could tell that it was more of an automated thing, but it was really good.
I gotta be honest with you though, I enjoyed 15, but the story was kind of meh for me.
I loved the story of 15.
It was very straightforward.
It was straightforward, but it wasn't just 15 the game that I liked. It was all the stuff around it. I liked all the animes and stuff that helped build this story, and the companionship that they built, the time that they spent to just make these friends feel important. to them.
Yeah.
It made it for like, so episode Ignis has some really dark stuff happen, and it's actually jarring because of all this other connection stuff you had.
But their reason for doing it is they're just duty bound to you.
Yes,
There's like
but
no larger story. And
they're not doing it because you're the king. They're doing it also because you're their friend.
Yes, but they wouldn't be there if you weren't the king.
They were basically destined to be together, and they were also pushed together because the King Lucius knew that Noctis needed friends, so he sent him away to Ponyville.
Yes.
No, essentially he like ensured early on that he would make good friends because he knew that the things that he was going to have to do later in his life he couldn't do alone.
It's a little backwards, but it's not very convoluted. And normally you want something to not be too convoluted, but it's evil dude showed up, destroyed kingdom, and it's your job to take it back. And that's pretty much
okay, kind of
the story.
So evil dude doesn't show up. Ifrit is really the Ifrit early on didn't like how humanity wasn't praising them enough, so he brought down the Star Scourge that started turning people into monsters, and there was only one person that ended up being able to stop it, but by doing so he had to take it into himself. And so he did that, but then because he did that, he was thrown out from becoming the king of the bloodline, and literally thrown to the side and thrown in prison, even though he was supposed to be the king. So he was betrayed because he wanted to help people. And that became the main villain in there, that was now on a blood rage to destroy the entire bloodline because of what they did to him.
But you have to like do all the extra content to even know that.
Well, they don't really tell you towards the end because they don't want to tell you who he is until then. So I understand that, but he's a great villain because he's doing horrible things, but in the end it's because horrible things were done to him.
That's not a good villain. He's doing horrible things because you were hurt once is not a great villain.
Not once. He was imprisoned he was literally made immortal and then thrown in a prison to rot, but he can never die.
Yes.
So
it's a shitty situation.
So he was literally spent hundreds of years there, like driving himself nuts. So
a good villain is like the Emperor from Baldur's Gate. That's a good villain.
Now you're doing a little early spoilers for something.
I know, I'm sorry. But that's a good villain. That's an example of a really good villain. The one where you're not sure if he's actually evil.
No, it has lore, and yes, it's not always front end, but I like that because it's about you can go as deep as you want into it. And I thought Arden was a great villain in Final Fantasy 15.
No, I would jump down and bit you. Like Sephiroth, Final Fantasy 7. He wanted to destroy humanity, yes, but he saw a planet already killing itself, and he wanted to hit the reset button because he's like, okay, if you guys are just going to destroy this planet, I'm going to take its life energy and start over. And after you go through all the events of Final Fantasy 7, you kind of realize he's kind of right. Like, humanity is killing itself and all of life on this planet, and they don't seem to be slowing down.
Sorry for the Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, they can see that.
Yeah. No, that's I love the Count of Monte Cristo. But it kind of shows that the guy who comes back for revenge, he's the bad guy. The main character in the Count of Monte Cristo is the villain of the film.
Mm-hmm. Well, like the one reason I like 15 is it kind of is like Star Wars, which a lot of Final Fantasies are inspired by Star Wars because that is actually Final Fantasy 6 had a reference to Star Wars, but where Arden is the true king, whatever, does the thing at the end. It was still Arden's sacrifice that led to the destruction of everything. Yeah. So the king drew the final blow, but it was only because Arden took it all into himself for that purpose. So he was in the end kind of like Darth Vader destroying the Emperor type thing. It's where you have the bad guy that in the end ends up being the pinnacle to the success. If otherwise, if it would have just been left out and he had never taken it into himself, it would have just kept going and everybody would have died.
Yeah.
So it was still his sacrifice in the end.
It was shitty what was done to him, for sure. Same as it was shitty to the Count of Monte Cristo for him being thrown in prison to rot. But good people don't come back and just start blowing shit up.
There was more to it. If you play episode Arden, they they show exactly him from when he was betrayed to imprisoned to waking up to the Emperor bringing him to the it's always the Empire. It's even in the same as 16. Bring him to the Empire and watching him learn of things, what happened. Because when he came out, he wasn't angry. He's pissed he was betrayed, but then they saw like the history of everything that had become the bloodline and all this stuff. That's where he got really angry. He's like, that was supposed to be me. Yeah. Like I was that bloodline was supposed to be mine. So
like I think the right amount of convoluted might be 9. Too convoluted is 8.
I think my
is crazy convoluted.
This is my one thing that bothers me with 15.
The map of the world.
I'm not seeing the whole thing.
There it is.
No. That's not it.
It's the concept map.
Yeah, that's not it. No, the actual world map for Final Fantasy 15 is huge.
That's the map I remember.
This is the map of an island.
Yeah.
Off into the corner. The Empire's main island is like 3 times bigger than that.
Yeah.
The whole world is significantly larger. In a lot of the other Final Fantasies, you go through the whole world. This one, you're only taking a small little portion of it, and then you never get to see the rest of it. You go to the Empire for a little bit, but you're on a train and you only get to see some parts.
Yeah.
It's space. Oh, is that it? That looks like it, but it looks turned sideways. I don't know. I feel that might be a little off, but no, the Empire's huge. It's not as detailed as some of the others, but it's just, I feel like they had this huge world with a lot more lore to it that they could have explored, but they spent a lot of it in that one country, but that kind of made sense why they did.
Well, they were fighting for that country.
Yeah. Yeah. It's understandable why they did, but.
Like, I like a lot of backstory and lore, but Final Fantasy VIII, I love Final Fantasy VIII, but the lore of that one, the backstory to everything is so crazy.
Yeah, that one is. There's a mod you can download that rewrites the story, but not by not telling a different story, but clarifying things throughout the whole thing.
It's hard to,
and it helps. It helps a lot, and they add in some other quests to help as well. It's kind of neat. So that you can play the game and understand things a bit better.
It's like, Squall, I know you're an 8-year-old orphan being raised by what appears to be Robin Williams in his 40s, but someday I'm gonna need you to defeat my wife, who's gonna turn evil. She's not evil yet, but she's gonna become evil. I need you to train so that you can kill her.
And Final Fantasy VIII, though, is supposed to have, that other guy, I forgot his name, you play as?
Steiner?
No, in Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
There's the other 3-guy group. The military guys. Yeah, it starts with an L something.
Starts with an L or something.
That was supposed to be a much larger story. They cut it way down.
Because apparently, if you dig into it, he's Squall's father. But they never really bring it up in game.
But no, his story was supposed to be of equivalent time and value of Squall's in the game. It's supposed to be 50-50 on time.
Yeah.
They cut it significantly down. They almost got rid of it. So there's a lot of things that are missed because of that, and a lot of things that don't make sense because they're not. The story was cut from it. But I know Kite. Yeah, the draw system kind of sucks. There is also a mod that you can download for the game that rebalances the mod system to make GFs less powerful, to make draws less important and more useful as a cast, and just rebalances everything to try to make it more where you can go and you don't have to just use draws specifically for just enhancements of GFs. It's kind of there's a channel.
Can't cast magic in 8. You hurt yourself by casting magic in 8.
Final Fantasy Union, they have some pretty neat videos, and one they did not long ago was Final Fantasy 8 mods that changed the entire game. If you're interested in the game, that is actually pretty neat. That's the one that they talk about the retelling of the stories, the rebalancing of things. There's also, and this one I kind of want to hold off on it, they're doing a full remake where it has full voice acting, where the whole game is voice acted.
If it's done well.
Yeah, it actually sounds like it's pretty done well. They're taking forever because they're doing it right. Yeah. And the problem is if you do the mod where it does the retelling of the story, you can't because it's the original. But there was like a preview for that the voice acting mod for 7, because there's one I think that already is done for 7. And you remember in the beginning of the game in Final Fantasy VII where Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett are trying to hit the button to open the door and you have to time the button hit? Mm-hmm. They just did some improv for some of those, though. And she gets to the point of like, Cloud, what the fuck?
I can't work a button.
It's a button. How can you not figure this out? And eventually she just showed her walk around, hit the button for him.
Yeah.
I think that might actually
That's
happen.
part of the game.
Yeah, the whole voice acting, you got to look it up. It's hilarious. She acts that perfectly.
Press the damn button.
Press the damn button. I don't know how much I like the light there.
Making her butt shine.
It just it takes away from the dreariness of it. I think
it draws my eye to her butt, though.
I just think I'm not a fan of it. I think it looks better this way.
Like, I know the story of Final Fantasy VIII, but only because I'm a super nerd.
I like looking back and gaining some of that extra information. Like Final Fantasy 15, I definitely looked up other information because I enjoy that. But it was because I put a ton of time into it and then I looked it up. I don't want to look up 8 until I've played it again.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like, oh, now I know the whole story and stuff. I can't remember the 2/3 of the story. So that actually sounds interesting to me because now it feels like I'm playing it again.
Yeah.
So.
Did somebody come in the chat and tell us they were going to give us the best viewers?
Yeah. Cheap viewers.
Oh, cheap viewers.
So Kate, if you didn't like 8, what was your favorite Final Fantasy? I'm gonna guess if you've had 8 and have an opinion that you've played many others. What's your favorite? I know you're gonna say 7, but what's your top 3?
It's all the PlayStation ones.
Is it because of?
And I want you to say, I know you wanted me to.
Is it a nostalgia filter?
A little bit, maybe. But 7 and 9 are definitely in there, even without the nostalgia filter. 8 is convoluted as hell. The draw system is awful. I'll say that one might fall into the nostalgia filter, but some of the cutscenes for 8 are freaking amazing.
The cutscenes are good. Also, I love the card game. It was simple. It was fun. They had actual benefits in the game. And then I also hate it because it lets you get stuff way early because of the trading system.
Yeah.
And the breakdown system. So, yeah.
I've played 1 as well. I might be one of the few people who've actually played and finished 1.
There's a mod for Final Fantasy 9 that just redoes the card game to be Final Fantasy 8's card game.
For 9?
Yeah, because people didn't like 9's version.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it was like they tried to make it more complicated. People like the simplicity of the other one, so I thought that was funny. 7, 9, and 10. Solid. No, I can agree with that list. Yeah.
It's really 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that I think would be in people's top 3. It's those ones.
4 is really good, and 5 is on some people's top list. It's just not many people in America have played it. I did play it; was good. I didn't finish it. I want to go back and redo it, but because I was playing on like a poor remaster. No, what do you, I think you know my number 1.
15?
No, 6.
Oh, 6. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, 6 is still, but number 2 is a close second. and that's 15.
Yes. I mean, I disagree, but sure.
But for number 3,
I feel like it's got to be 7, and if it's not, I'm just gonna believe you're just hating on 7 because it's popular.
I'd probably say 7.
Okay.
If I had to keep going, it'd probably be 7, then 10, then
Really?
9.
It's heading on 9.
Oh, no, 10, then 4, then 8. I haven't played 1, 2, 3, or 5 that much to put those on the list. And then I'd probably do 12 and 13. 13 is on the bottom. I'm not including MMOs.
I love 9, but the final boss.
Blitzball was fun. Yes, Blitzball was addicting as hell. It was so fun.
Addicting. There are 2 problems I have with 9.
10.5 was. I'm not putting that on a list because it's a sequel.
It doesn't exist.
I thought it had amazing music.
Doesn't exist.
That's about it. It had amazing music, but other than that, it was just skimpy girl time. They could have done better with that.
It is the Star Wars Christmas specials Final Fantasy.
Kind of. But the music in 10.2 was some of the best in this, like all Final Fantasy.
It's very poppy.
Yeah, I know, but like there's some of my favorite piano musics from there. I have the soundtrack for I think 7, 8, 9, or no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, and I think even 11. And they're in both the regular soundtrack and the piano versions.
I put 9 as my number 2, but there are 2 things that really hurt 9 that actually make me want to take it off of number 2. One is the only way to get the best weapons in the game is to rush the entire game. Like and I don't just mean like not doing battles or skipping lots of battles. I mean the dialogue, you have to not read it. You have to just click through it as fast as you can because you need to get to the end of the game before a certain point or you get locked out of getting the ultimate weapons. And that's dumb. You can't enjoy the game if you want the best weapons. That's a dumb mechanic. Weird.
Look at my little head.
You can give Derby that little head if you swap her and your guy. But and then the other thing that hurts Final Fantasy IX is the final boss comes out of nowhere. Like it's just some god dude, and you don't hear anything about him. He's not referenced before that point. It's just like you fight God now, and okay, like at least the final boss in 8 and 7 and even 10 were like that was what you were building up to fight. 9, it's like just something gotta kill now. It's weird. It's fun.
9, I really love 9. I think my main issue with it is I never could get hooked on it. There's so many things I love about 9, but 7 can get you hooked. 8 can get you hooked. 10 can get you hooked. 9, every time I play it, I just can't get hooked. So like, because I always had this, like, I want to play it, then I have this, like, after a couple hours in thing where I don't want to play the game a bit, and I have to power through that, and then if I can, I'm going to burn through the next 80 hours.
Sid City. I forget the name of it. It's the city where Sid is. It's like 4 hours of just dialogue, and it will kill the momentum of the game so hard.
Yeah, I just couldn't... I just couldn't get into it.
Like Final Fantasy VII, I don't think there's a point other than maybe in the Golden Saucer, but at least in the Golden Saucer, you're doing the chocobo races, you're doing the arena, so it's a little bit of fun from time to time, but they consistently keep you fighting throughout. They don't have you just reading dialogue for hours. 9 has that problem. 8 has that problem to a point.
I don't really mind that to a degree. I think then that was my one issue kind of with Final Fantasy 16 when I started that. It was just, oh my god, there's so much going on, and there's just so many cutscenes, but they're fully animated, fully audio, so it's like kind of watching a movie. And I also know that early game it's exposition.
Yes, so
that's fine.
I think that was my biggest problem and why I couldn't get very far into what was that new Bethesda game, space game?
Starfield.
Because like the first you get into that game and you're like, okay, space battles, starships, let's go. Nope. 3 hours of bouncing around one city, doing fetch quests before you can even think about touching space. And it's like, okay, well, you killed the momentum before it even started the game. I think I got off planet, went to one major city, and realized I had another city that I was just going to be stuck in doing dialogue for an hour. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to play something else. just couldn't.
Yeah, you have to get people hooked. And I feel like that's the kind of the issue I had with Final Fantasy IX. I just couldn't get hooked. But it was a very good game, and I do want to go back and finish at some point. But I have like 9 hours on Steam or something of making a first attempt. But I have the original now. I can just play on Xbox, so I might just try that. They actually just came out with a full HD remake where Square Enix did an HD up remake, whatever. But then a whole other group went and used AI to upscale everything. It's much better than Square Enix did. So and they also added ultra wide support, though they said some things will like not show up right because like there's going to be texture for cities that were meant, are larger because you're meant to see more at certain angles. But there are times where you're going to have black areas come up off the sides for weird reasons. And they're like, if it doesn't bother you, whatever. And I kind of like that. He has a big point, small head.
Yes,
I want to see if I can kind of make him like step in.
Oof. Like falling apart a little bit.
No, I did the wrong timing on this. I can just try to balance it.
Get another drink in 4 minutes. Flitter, what do you think? Derpy should be in that basket and his OC in the cage?
I think you've asked Flitter this before.
No, I don't think I've had Flitter this. Maybe
Yeah,
I
you
did.
did.
This is very important.
She's like, yes.
Yeah. Sorry. See, cool people agree with me. Nargo is an evil pony. He put Derpy in a cage. How much more evil can you be? Have you seen the number of times he set her on fire? Somebody should put together a compilation video because it would be like 3 hours long.
That would be
him
funny.
Just setting Derpy on fire.
I would like that actually. Wait, I love what you're like. We need a compilation of Derpy being on fire.
Saying if there was one.
I'm thinking that you just said that you wanted to see a compilation of Derpy being on fire.
No. Look, Kite immediately got a stupid face, and he's probably gonna ask for Derpy on fire.
Right,
Yeah,
so
Derpy torture.
This is what the people want, Michael.
This is what Kite wants, and he keeps asking for it, and you keep providing.
Like, it's what the people want.
This person, Flitter wants Derpy out of the cage. She's people.
She's people too.
Yes. I'm gonna get that beer now. You want anything?
I kind of want a whiskey Coke, but I'm out of. No, I'm out of caffeine-free ones.
Don't give you caffeine.
No, I'd be up all night.
I want caffeine. I had a cup of coffee right before I left work. Maybe I'll dig in the back of the fridge. There's a Coke.
There's not.
You've already tore through it, huh?
I'm pretty sure there's not. I'm trying to think if there's any other sodas that are here. But no.
Lots of Dr. Pepper.
No, that's also caffeinated.
Cokes.
We don't have anything else. I forgot to pick some up last time I was out there. I'm guessing we're out of Twisted Teas. I just don't feel like beer.
I'll find something that's not beer. There's one of the green apple things.
I'll do that, yeah. I'm gonna take that out there. We have space in recycle bins now. Wait, no, it's not the one down here.
Still beer in here.
There you go. Highest number of views on a short is Dash setting Derpy on fire. On a short, yes. Sorry, I'll get to that. Huh? Yeah, I'll take that. I just want to get the timing on this figured out before I yeah, because like this is still busted. I want to have the undo. If I switch files, this will break my undo. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean the regular Twisted Tea I'm not a huge fan of, but it sounds better than a beer right now. Beer just sounds heavy. I don't know why.
This is.
I
got a stout.
True.
There's a dead Irish poet in this can. That's so on the can.
So try drinking this stuff called plain water. I think I've already drank one of these today. I don't know, maybe more. Yes, I've drank over one of these today. I don't know why, but today I was really thirsty. I would drink a ton of water and I was still thirsty, and I just kept drinking water and water. So yeah, I am well hydrated today.
I had a few gulps of water for lunch. Between 2 cups of coffee. I do wah. Gotta drink some wah.
What?
Wah.
What?
I think I watched a video where it just had people in England making fun of Americans for their pronunciation skills. It's like, what is this? That's a glass of water. Wah. They're like, look at him like, again, wah. Okay. We went on that one. It was fun to say it that way, though.
We got you, England.
Yeah.
Okay, does that work with the basket? If I'm comfortable with it, I will.
Though I am in a hard push to start calling aluminium over here, because it's better.
It's way more fun.
Yeah.
Aluminium. And it's like when I was reading one of the things yesterday, it was like in America it's laboratory, but I love laboratory.
Yeah.
It's so much more fun to say.
But it just sounds
And
fancy.
caramel or caramel or caramel.
Well, that's 2 pronunciations in the United States.
Yeah, but I love caramel more. Caramel sounds like oh, I got caramel. No, caramel.
Caramel. I always say caramel.
What's another word that's like that you like the pronunciation more?
England.
Yeah,
I'd have to go through it.
Caramel.
There's a few things that we do kind of wrong, pronunciation wise. Admittedly.
But yeah, I will agree. Aluminium.
Aluminium's just the big one.
Yeah. I do not agree with the use of the H in the word herb. Because they'll call it a herb.
Herb is
Unless I know
herb
of,
is
anyway.
better than herb.
I like herb.
Herb sounds like somebody's name.
Yeah, that's like I have an uncle named Herb. I'm trying to think if there's any other words that I know like that.
Let's see. There's probably a list. Where? Bones are hard.
I was going to ask a question mark. I have no idea. I can't name it Derpy because if I do, it's just going to match some other ones named Derpy. Okay.
I think I would know more of these. Talking about.
That's just Michael being weird.
It's crown and crown and crown. Crown and crown.
Please don't do your one pronunciation will you stare me dead in the eyes over and over.
Crown and crown.
The amount of times I've had to waste my life just watching you say the same word over and over
I'm
again.
saying 2 different words every time. Every time. You can't hear it. It's crown and crown. I'm saying 2 different words.
Is there an app that you can have it? Hold on.
I don't want your stupid northern
Okay, no,
app
hold on.
not being able to hear the difference.
I'm gonna do a thing. Okay, I'm just gonna open up a message. Or can I? I'm just gonna say to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Or do an email because that's a bit easier. I don't want to accidentally send somebody a message. Okay, so I'll do an email. Okay. And I'm gonna turn on. How do I get to that? The voice keyboard. There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. It's gonna start listening. Okay. So, Mike.
Mm-hmm. You gotta go first.
All right. So I'm gonna say the head one and then the drawing one. Okay.
Okay.
Crown, crayon. She said crown twice.
Yeah. See, you're doing it wrong.
Oh no, I fixed it.
What? No, it can't fix it.
No, I didn't say anything.
You did. You touched something.
Okay, I'll do this again. No, it fixed it.
Uh-huh.
Crown,
I'm gonna watch him.
crayon. It's written really confused. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I got it.
Eventually.
Okay, so now, hold on. Yeah. So mine was right. Now, do yours? Wait, hold on. I gotta say the button.
Okay. Crown. Crown. Crown.
It's just.
No, hey, wait, I can't see it.
It says
crown. I'm not doing it now. It broke. You broke it. Crown. It's not what I said.
it said ground.
That thing is broken.
It got me. All right, we'll try one more time for you.
Crown. Crown. Stupid northern app.
Hey, did it again.
I am doing saying too. Give me that phone. I'm gonna teach it.
Okay, use both words in a sentence. How about that?
Okay, fine. The child colored with a crown. Stupid northern app.
No, no. I said use both in a sentence.
I'm gonna
Do both words in the same sentence.
The child was coloring a crown with a crown. It's broke. It doesn't work. It's not programmed properly.
Jesus.
Hold on, we gotta find the proper text-to-speech program.
Okay, Michael, here. I'm gonna type out some stuff for you quick here. Okay. So it's Michael. Look here. Okay. How do you say
the crown and the crown when the crown crowned with the crown?
Thank you. No. How do you say this word?
Crow.
Okay. And then
Crown.
okay. Now
Ray. Pray. Crown.
no, these are two words.
Oh, crayon.
Okay.
Crown.
Why is it that the whole pronunciation changes because the space is gone?
Crayon. Crown.
No, that's why I say crayon.
Crayon. That's what I'm saying. Crayon. I'm just making it one syllable.
Okay.
Say the word as
How
a
you say
single
this?
syllable. Crayon.
You had to think about it like, how can I make it sound
No,
correct?
round. That's how I would say that.
Ron?
Round.
Wrong?
Round.
I think I might let a stroke.
Didn't kill me.
How would you say this?
Brown. Brian?
That's Brian.
Yeah,
It's somebody's name.
Yeah, now
No, it's Braun.
No, you put an A in it, it's Brian.
No, that's what you said.
Yeah.
It's Brian.
No, with the A back in it, it's Brian. That's Baron.
Actually, I don't even know how I'd say that. The only one that I think is kind of close is technically that one.
I did find a thing where somebody's like, Google Translate only relays words and sentences in northern accent. Trying to learn or familiarize myself with more southern styles because I'm used to it. So this is people.
So you're not saying it's Southern style because you're not using correct normal English.
No, you're using
Southern
the wrong
English.
translator.
They're using Northern English has the benefit of it's usually clear. That's why most places would use a Northern accent or stuff because it's much easier. Maybe not with the like super like don't you betcha, but
There's a bias in your program.
Yep. Okay.
You're using it to your advantage. That's why the South stopped reading books.
What do we need?
I say cray lol. Creole
No, crayon.
loan.
How do you say that word? Just the 4 letters. CRAN.
Crane. Oh. I thought the lull was part of how you were saying it. I don't know these kids' things. Crane.
I want to see something. What accent pronounces crayon as crown?
Click it. It might tell you. There's a map.
Yeah, so it says the red areas are crayon, and then the blue are for crayon. Then crayon is the blue. So most others do that, and then
Crayon is also.
so then there's the green is I don't really see where the green is.
I think
but,
it's like a bluish green.
and then yellow.
Yellow is you.
That's like right here.
Yeah.
No, we're right here.
Yeah, so I'm pronouncing it right for this area, apparently.
This common variation tends to be labeled as a Midlands pronunciation, which approximates 14% of the country articulates this way. Tricky spot or spot the yellow-orange area. I'm trying to figure out where the green is. I'm thinking that might be the green.
It doesn't look green.
I don't even see where your area has anything to do with that.
It's a mix. That's blue and red right there where I lived.
Because is this Kentucky?
Yeah, that's Kentucky.
Okay. Does look like a piece of chicken.
Wow.
It does.
Look, the point is I'm pronouncing it properly and you're not.
There's a chance you're saying crayon the wrong way. If Michael had an autobiography, that better be the title.
There's a chance you're saying crayon the wrong way.
Because I think we checked this before. I don't think there's a crayon.
Crown?
Oh.
I am, in my brain, I am saying it differently. And I can hear the difference. Stick it up her nose.
That's
what you do with crowns. I do remember I found this vintage box of Crayola crowns.
Jamola.
Yes.
That's not how you say crown.
You said it right.
No, I just said the word crown.
You said, no, yeah. Crown. Isn't that good? I don't think that map is accurate anymore. It did feel a little dated. Really likes blue. It's her favorite color.
These don't have skins, so like that is just the color. And I can't really recolor it because it's defaulted to blue.
Well, you could just do the shade thing.
The shade thing has to treat whatever its base color is as its base color. I can't remove the blue, so everything has to be a shade of blue then.
Yeah.
So I would never be able to do orange because it would have to have 0 blue.
But nah, the story I was getting to is I had the box of vintage crowns, and I was showing John a picture. I was like, check out this awesome box of like vintage crowns that my grandparents have, and he just stops and he looks at me. He's like, please tell me you're messing with me. And I was completely lost. I had no idea what he was on about. What do you mean? And he just walked away, and then I realized he was all upset with my pronunciation. I was like,
No, because you probably thought you were talking about something else.
no, he was upset at my pronunciation of the word crown.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we're disappointed with you on that happen to be based on where you were living.
I will fix things here, I promise you. Get people eating 3 ways and pronunciating things right.
Like, there's so many things from Kentucky that like don't make sense. Like, it's like the sandbag tossing game.
Cornhole.
It's just so
That's what most people call it. We have the majority on that.
I do like, there's a t-shirt. I saw that they do that. Yeah, it was something like this or whatever, but it was making fun of the fact that those 2 words came out of where you live. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Just it's brave again, but
it's brave. And then she's stuck around in her booper. Eating that one. He really likes crowns. I'd just be happy that I occasionally mess up and call hot dish. Well,
it's because usually I threaten that you'll never get it again.
It's tasty.
Because like if you were to say, if you don't do it right, you're not going to get a 3-way again, I'd be like,
you would be happy to keep messing up.
Oh no.
You don't want to eat the best food ever made. I ate it again today. He's huffing crowns. Sus.
Oh, I can change the color. I know how to. That's not a problem. It's just effort.
She likes this color. It's your favorite flavor.
No, it's changing the color is easy. It's just stupid faces are meant to be quick.
I did have my new coworker come into my office, and in my office, for whatever reason, they've been there as long as I have. I actually colored a picture with them once way back. Is a collection of colored markers, and in those colored markers, advertised on the front, is 5 sniffable markers, ones that smell like food or chocolate or tutti frutti or whatever. And my coworker came into my office like, are those the sniffable ones? I like those, and just started sniffing all my markers. And I was like,
how dare he? Those are your markers for getting high on.
I'm like, I always used to make the joke that those sniffable markers were teaching children horrible habits. Like, that's what.
Yeah, and so then you're like, I need them.
Yes. And yes, come into my office and just start sniffing my markers, please.
You know, now I know why you don't take leftovers for breakfast or for lunch. All right, good night, Flitter.
I ate the hot dish yesterday. What was left of it?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
There's still some in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was gone.
I figured you were probably saving it for your lunches, so I held off on eating.
Oh, I thought it was out.
I was like, this is gonna go bad. So
it must have got hidden there. No, my lunches are kind of cheap at work, so I just.
Well, you don't always go in, so.
You know, most days of the week.
When I get out of my room, you're just eating cereal.
That's just breakfast.
Yeah. Well, that's what I ate the hot dish for, was breakfast.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it for breakfast.
Well,
You had eggs this
I
morning.
had eggs this morning, yeah. If I actually get out of bed when I'm supposed to, I have time to make eggs. But occasionally...
You've made fun of me before for like taking forever to get out of bed.
I'm talking a difference of 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Like, if it takes me 5 minutes extra to get out of bed...
That's extra out of bed. I plan to have my time take longer.
You set like 10 alarms.
Look at that derpy.
You got all the crowns. It's got the whole box of just for the one color. She's like, it's like you just hand the derpy the crowns, and she's just like, there's only one color in that entire box. It's like, it's fine, it doesn't matter. It's not going to color with them anyways. 10 minutes later, you just turn to see that. Like, it's the only way we can get her to eat. We put some vitamins inside the crowns, and she gets what she needs. Just that and muffins. Yeah, it's most of the US. You guys are weird. What do you call it here? Bean something? Bean bags? There's
Just beanbag toss.
No, but there's beanbag chairs.
But it's beanbag toss.
Chairs?
It's a bag of beans.
Yeah. God, no, it's a bag of dried corn.
Yeah, if you're cheap.
What? Because the beans are the ritzy option, as opposed to the dried corn.
Yes.
Let's see.
You see, you're just not using it because you have to save it for your 4 ways.
I am curious now what they actually put in the majority of the bags. Is it corn or beans, or is it like neither, and it's all just something plastic now? Or muffin flavored crowns.
Michael.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's no. She can't breathe. I'm just clogged up all of her breathing holes.
All of her. Yes.
Yes. Like you were gonna say something and you stopped yourself.
It was going to be a lewd thing, so I wasn't saying it. Okay, depends on who is making them. Some folks use beans, some rice, some others sand.
Sand wouldn't work.
Sand would be. I think
rice.
Yeah, rice maybe. Sand would just be too much, I think, because you'd overfill it more than likely. Bean, you can basically fill up the whole thing for the most part and still be fine.
Beans are gonna be a bit heavier than corn, though. Like denser. Like whatever is in the official bean bags for like the tournament level stuff. That's what I want to know. A lot of the cornhole sets we had growing up was just like stuff people made, like it's little like, projects to sell at flea markets. Four ways? You need onions or beans for that. 5-way if you have both. 2-way if you don't have spaghetti.
So it's chili and cheese.
Just chili and cheese.
That's just chili and cheese. You don't.
Yeah.
It's not called a 2-way. It's called chili and cheese.
It's called a 2-way at the restaurant.
I don't want to go to their back room.
That's the other word we pronounce differently. Not restaurant. I'm pretty sure you just say restaurant.
Restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Use 3 syllables. It's 2.
Restaurant. Restaurant.
Restaurant. Yeah. Not restaurant. Restaurant.
Then how do you get the AU in the middle?
Restaurant.
Because it's not restaurant. It's rest.
I didn't say restaurant. I said restaurant.
There is an AU in the middle.
Restaurant. I put in the AU in there.
No, you can't. If you add the AU, then it's a third syllable. Or yeah.
Restaurant.
You're not saying it. You're saying rest
No,
and runt.
No, I'm saying restaurant. Restaurant.
Okay, say both syllables.
Restaurant.
A runt is one syllable.
Restaurant. Anyway,
This is Kentucky's school system.
also, I think the one thing I remember, you say,
Derby.
What's so good is I know I pronounce theater, and you say theater.
A theater.
It's theater.
I'll say theater.
Dinner and supper. I think it's just
I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the first part of that?
No.
Does anybody in chat know the first part of that? Somebody's got to know it.
Chevrolet movie theater.
There you go. Oh wait, no, that is the second part. First part
Yeah.
of that. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater. It's the lyrics of a really, really bad rhyme on a rap song.
It's a bad rhyme.
You forgot it? Somebody's got to know it.
Professional advisor filled with either dry corn or resin pebbles.
The second part makes more sense than the first part.
Yes.
We have a couple more
familiar
seconds.
with rap, so
No, I don't either, but that one I do know.
is she just gonna eat crowns?
Well, she can look around too. She's like,
You should be wearing a crown while eating the crowns. I still think that Minnesota State Fair would benefit from having a like Skyline Chili place or a Gold Star there. To see how it goes over. Oh no, that one looks like it's been violently planted. Oh, now it's gone from cute to murder. Don't murder Derby.
does nobody get
That's rude.
No, I forgot. I want to see the name of the rapper.
I don't have the resources. One of the companies that have billions of dollars at hand, they should do it. Not me with my like go-to attitude. I'm sure they'd be love for me to fund it. I have to imagine getting a booth in the state fair is cheap.
This is the lyric. Well, I mean, it's more than this, but that's the lyrics. Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
Really dumb.
It comes out of nowhere. The song is really stupid. King Chip.
What's his name?
Probably not, I can't say all this.
Mama.
But yeah, that was the part that I was talking about. There's some. Well, I am Z-Man. There's a man riding a horse on top of my chest.
How does somebody come up with lyrics like this?
When skateboarders grind, I grind too. What?
I grind too. Like Napoleon.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid.
It's dumb. Just stop murdering Derpy now.
The what link?
Mm-hmm.
The what Etsy? If you're talking about one up here, I don't think I have one.
Was it horse related? The Etsy link? Because I wanted to buy the horse weebles. Because they got the the weebles that wobble that they don't fall down. They got horsey versions of those. But I don't have any more shelf space.
Ceiling furniture. Oh, there was. Okay, that makes more sense. I have bought a lot of stuff on Etsy lately.
The Super Game Boy is going to be here Saturday. That's cool. When's your birthday again? Check Facebook.
Like a month.
A month.
Michael.
Well, stop murdering Derpy.
No.
The unicorn.
She's a unicorn now.
The Alcorn princess.
She's a crayocorn.
Princess.
And she's like, what?
Best princess. That's how you know. The best princess has the biggest horn. And Derpy wins. Yes. Super Alcorn Princess Derpy.
I think she's going to have some neck issues. And she's definitely going to have some issues with doors.
Yeah.
Elevators.
He just... all of her castles, it's got crown marks on the walls.
It's just lines down the ceiling. It's like a cable car.
Princess Derpy, please.
Like, where did Derpy go? That one looks fresh. Oh, I like that.
Princess now. Royalty. For sure.
But the problem is that eventually her won't get smaller and smaller.
Oh, no,
She's got to have one of those sharpeners.
grows back. Like fingernail.
Yeah. But then they gave her a coloring book and it was, she killed herself.
Oh no.
She just used it. She went down the nub. She's not around now. That's probably what the color is. It's not, actually, this one doesn't have a colored like name on it. I'm sad. Like, you should have a name.
Like teal, almost.
If this was Crayola, they would have like some weird creative name for it.
Yeah.
But that's
in colors.
Is that aquamarine or is that?
No, it's too dark to be aquamarine.
I think it's too dark for teal too, though. There.
What is the Palatone color? So dumb. I hate that people are just like owning colors. You can't own the rainbow.
So you can own a color if you're identifying it as being used for a very specific purpose.
Yeah, but
like
Palatone stuff. Palatone stuff.
Oh, the Pantone. They don't own the color. They own the representation of that color. So if you were to go somewhere and say you want that Pantone color or something, that place to utilize that as a Pantone number has to have some reference somewhere, and Pantone's purpose is to do that. The whole Pantone's purpose is important, but they just overcharge.
They shouldn't be charging anything.
Well, they're doing it because they need to build something that is guaranteed to be exact to somebody across the world.
Then give them the hex code.
But when it's printed, that printer might not be the exact same. So when it's printed, you have to use that reference to say, is it matching up? So when you buy a Pantone, you're buying the cards that have been verified to be exactly what that color is, so that if somebody prints something across the world, they can pull out their chip and say, yes, that is exactly what you're looking at. That is important. And then once they can say, yes, that's good, if it matches that color, then they can do full scale production. But it's just they charge craploads of money for it, because I can't see that type of verification being cheap to get all of their print methods to be, because there's so many different colors that are so close, and to have them all be that precise.
As long as you're using the same printer, same equipment on both sides, you should end up with the same color.
Different paper, different materials, the humidity at the time. There's so many things that can play a factor into it.
I guess.
And especially when you're buying from a cheap place.
I guess nobody's going to use those things unless they really, really care.
Yeah, it's big business. But if you want like a thing of it, it's like 5 digits. And you have to replace it every couple of years. And
does the color change?
And there's a specific box that you're supposed to put it in that's specifically lit so that the lighting that's in the room isn't going to affect the comparison, then you have a comparison that's equal to somebody else elsewhere.
And then there's just the guy at Home Depot and go, I need this color, and he can look at it and go, and then he just whips it.
But they
up
put
for
it in a
that
machine.
guy.
But that the color match doesn't matter because you're not saying I need this exact color or like based on this number. You're saying I need this thing I have in my hand,
Yeah.
which is different. You can't do that across the world.
He's a master of his art.
No, it's an understandable requirement, but they charge a buttload for it. But it's also big business. If you're going to be selling product, that 5 digits is just an investment. The problem is having to replace it every couple of years. I was trying to see if there was a special thing there, but I didn't see it.
Color of the year.
Nintendo picks the color of the year every year too. It kind of makes sense. That is their thing. They are an important service. Did some painting and I saw the color of the year. A neutral seafoam looking color. They probably just like asked ChatGPT, what's the color of the year?
Throw a dart at a board. Seafoam doesn't work anywhere but bathrooms. And even then,
What about on the sea?
kind of irritating to look at. Ceiling? Oh,
In the
or
sea.
You can try painting the sea.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm just going to colors.
Little picture.
So this is like. It was a big site. She's not excited yet. And she's just like,
I mean, I can't blame Derpy Crowns. Taste pretty good.
she's like,
Living tastes better than paraffin wax.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Whatever you just said, Derpy. Correct.
I'm going to penis.
You do that, Derpy. Derpy knows what she likes.
Something like penis.
And that's how she ended up with Dinky. What was that robot chicken? The episode with what was it? Tarzan with Jane. It's like, I like that. He's pointing at his loincloth like,
that's the lowest
like
color of
mother,
the year.
like daughter.
Lowe's color of the year. Pantone is peach fuzz.
Peach? Fuzz, I have to imagine it's just a really light peach. That can work in a kitchen. Maybe a living room if it's like a attached thing. Like upstairs it could work. Like a light peach
I
color.
wouldn't want peach colored. I like accent walls or something. I'd rather, but
want one of those.
the only reason I don't want to do accent upstairs is because we already have all the brick on the wall. So
It's already an
it's kind of accented. So I feel like if we added an accent wall, it would be like if an accent wall, you can't have like an accent wall or not accent wall and then an accent wall again.
Yeah.
Because then it's weirdly done.
You don't want accent walls competing.
Yeah. So
weird
yeah, I'm not doing that upstairs. We're just keeping it white.
Is that the color I went with in my bathroom? Yeah, it could kind of work. A light peach can work in a lot of places.
I forgot. This was steely gray in here, but the whole spectrum that I went with, the one I almost went with was called Online, which I thought was funny. They have a bunch that were like internet based. They had like hardware and firmware, and it was all just variations of gray with slight hints of blue.
Yeah,
But it was lighter than I was looking. The steely gray was a little darker, so I went with the darker one.
I don't hate it.
I like it.
I think it works for this room, but I wouldn't put it in a living room.
Yeah, I'm not putting it upstairs.
Yeah.
But I want to put it out there for its purpose, because it's not about. I don't want to have just lights on all the time. I want to have more point lighting and other lighting. And I think darker gray, like this, it looks blue, but this is a dark gray on the walls. If I would have this white, that blue back there would be glowing. The reason I did the darker colors because I wanted better control of the lighting. And if I had white walls, anything I lit up would just light up the whole room. And that's kind of the purpose, but no, I don't want that.
It's like I'm in a corridor in Halo.
I like it.
I know you do.
But I want to do it in the other room because we're going to be there's some stuff I want to put up, and I want to get a black light in one of the areas, and I want to get some other stuff on the walls. And I feel like the darker colored walls helps pop out some of those things, and I want that area to kind of be a little darker and look, and I feel like by doing that it would have less wall refraction with the light and just be more it would just bring the light down. One of the other rooms is white, and that's going to stay that way though.
Just paint all the walls black.
You don't want to be on trend. And Michael's been the thing is it has to be white because of resale value.
Also, it reflects light really well.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep it white in the other room where we want the light, but then in these other rooms I don't want that. I can still turn this light and it's really bright.
Yeah.
So just get brighter bulbs then.
I guess I am still working in the mentality of like the incandescent days.
Yeah, I don't like the yellowy type. I want to replace the lights out here anyway, because the lights we have out there are very yellow. And I've taken multiple pictures out there, and all the camera does is try to get rid of the yellow, but in doing so, it just makes everything look brown. Like it tries to balance it out. I had that when I was selling the leather chairs. Somebody was asking, "Is that brown leather?" I'm like, oh no, it's black. It's just the lights are yellow.
You're getting ready to sell a place. You got the time, the energy, eggshell white everything.
Not as much anymore. Eggshell white had a kind of a time. I like white now. If I'm gonna go white, not like I'm not gonna go glossy white.
No,
but
it could be flat colors.
Yeah, but I don't like eggshell. That because eggshell looks like you painted it white and then you were a smoker.
Speak the wise words of Joe Dirt from the movie Joe Dirt. Not about you. It's the consumer. If you're selling the house, people like white, because then they can imagine it different colors.
Yeah, if I'm selling a place, sure. I don't plan to sell this for a while. If I sell this place now with all the work we had to have done, I would be taking a big loss. Mm-hmm. No, I'm gonna be here for a while.
This goes to your forever home.
I am hoping so, but forever is a long time.
Nah, it's never as long as you think. I'm realizing that more and more as I get older.
In 2 years, I've spent half my life over 21.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if you think back to that, how long ago that was?
I was thinking this year we haven't done much stuff.
What do you mean much stuff?
Like last year we went to L.A. or no, San Francisco. We didn't go to L.A.
We didn't go to San Francisco last year.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Yeah.
No, because when San Francisco...
Oh, it was 2 years ago.
It wasn't last year because that was when the basement flooded. It was the weekend of the con.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the year before.
Yeah, it was the year before.
So no, we didn't do that much last year.
No, we went to Germany.
Well, that was about it. Germany Cider Fest in Windy City.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a
It was a thing. But that was because that was cheap. I wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise.
We need to set up that trip to get to the North Shore.
You brought it up again.
I did. My mom's brought it up. She wants to join us. Which is, I'm fine with, and as long as it's not weird for other people. He wants to go on vacation. Like when she came up here was probably a nice getaway, but it wasn't exactly a getaway spot. Is this
from
place
Minnesota?
I'm talking about this house.
You chose to just
we went to the zoo.
Yeah, whether or not you
to the mall.
you do something with your time is not my problem.
Well, she was only here for a couple days.
Yeah.
And she really liked the pinball machine, so
Yeah, she did spend a lot of time on that.
yes. Did what I could when she was here. Like, we went places. We watched Deadpool. That was fun. Good movie. Need to go see Beetlejuice 2 now. We need to do that as a group.
When does that come out?
Soon? I think it was initially said to come out like on the 24th of July, but they very wisely didn't hocus pocus it and put it out in the summer. They were going to. but they pushed it closer to October, which is the smart thing to do. Yeah, it's September 6th. A couple weeks.
It's gonna be weird 3D though.
What do you mean?
I feel like that is a move. I hope they use way more practical effects than
It's all practical effects.
All of it?
Yeah, they kept everything claymation and stuff.
I saw some of it, but there was definitely some CG.
I don't think so. I think they very intentionally kept it all the practical. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The foot sliding. I'm trying to get
I have
rid
to
of
watch it, I guess. I hope they kept everything practical.
I think they did a lot of stuff practical, but I don't think that they did 100% practical.
Because I think it's Tim Burton directing it again, so it's got the same director. It better be Tim Burton. Like, that's his creation. Beetlejuice is one of his, like 100%. Like, it's not a property he, like, try to hand at, or somebody else's project he just directed on. Beetlejuice is his.
Right foot now.
Actually doing its first airing on August 28th. You just have to be at the 81st Venice Film Festival to see it. You want to go to the Venice Film Festival to watch Beetlejuice?
Well, you said you want to take a trip.
I did.
I don't know. I think that might be a little bit outside of what you were
I
thinking.
gotta get there in 8 days.
Oh, 8 days too?
From now, yeah. That's when it airs. In Venice.
Yeah, probably pass.
Rats. Venice is nice. Yeah, director Tim Burton. I was gonna say, if it wasn't Tim Burton, I'd lose my mind.
I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if he owns the right to it, but I know that that gets really convoluted too. So I wouldn't be surprised if like some other like MGM or something owns it.
Yeah.
You can create it, but you have to get the funding and they'll usually want the rights to something.
Yeah, for the toys and stuff, because I don't think he had anything to do with the animated series. The chili made me gassy.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, was it? You've left the room a few times, so...
No, I'm not that kind of gassy. Burps. At the belches. Beer probably isn't helping. I feel like I'm finally getting all the movies I wanted when I was a kid. Like all the sequels, because I got Hocus Pocus, that was a big one.
Yeah, I know that was your favorite movie.
They apparently did do a series, I think, with them as kids. I did enjoy like the child versions of the Sanderson sisters in the sequel, because the girl who played Winfrey did a really good job.
I thought they all did a pretty damn good job of playing the younger version of those characters. They had a whole movie to base it off of, though, which helps.
The kids in the second one, the ones who ran around with them when they were older or tried to defeat them or whatever, they were awful. I'm sorry if you're watching children from the second Hocus movie, you weren't the highlight of that film.
No. Well, there are two words that would highlight the first movie for you.
What's that?
What is it?
2 words. For the first movie. Her screaming book is 1 word.
No, like they go together. What's your favorite part of that movie? That's just 2 words.
My favorite part of the movie, that's 2 words. I feel like I've said it a billion times and I'm blanking.
It might be a name.
Winifred?
No, what's the actor's name?
Oh, Bette Midler?
Yeah, there you go.
It's Winifred. Yeah.
I know, but it's like, oh my God.
Bette Midler is amazing in that film.
I know Bette Midler is what made that movie.
Yes. Like Sarah Jessica Parker and the other one whose name
they all do great.
Yeah, they're all great.
But
her performance is they enhance
her performance, but she's still the center of it.
Yes.
No, I think that if they had really anybody else that really did some of those roles, they probably wouldn't have worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they picked 3 people that really worked.
She did an excellent job in the remake too. Like you could tell she was a little bit more tired, but she still did an excellent job. I'm glad they did it. And it worked too because the whole premise in the first film is that they were elderly, and then in the second film they're just elderly again because they failed, and they're also actually old this time.
Oh, it's funny how movies work that way.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's why Michael Keaton they didn't have to put the makeup on him this time. Like Beetlejuice.
That's also why The Expanse, we're going to get the next season of it in 30 years.
I mean, it would, based on everything you've told me, it like if they were older, it would work better. So maybe. I imagine it did pretty well on the Netflix. I mean, what was it? The show you're watching now, The Orville. There was like a 5-year gap between season 2 and 3. Wasn't there? Like in their release?
Because it started in 2017.
Yeah.
So 2017, 2018, then
okay, so there were
3.5 years.
3.5 years till season 3.
But that was COVID. So that
it's going
to throw things off.
They killed it well before COVID started. They killed it because
I didn't realize this was called something different.
New Horizons.
I like Orville. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Because I think a different television station picked it up for the 3rd season.
It's Fox right now.
It was, yeah. Fox did the first 2 seasons. I think Disney did the 3rd. I think that's what it was. Orville got canceled by Fox in 2018. Disney got the rights to the Orville when they bought 21st Century Fox.
Oh, yeah.
And then he talked to Disney about getting a 3rd season. And they approved it. That's what happened.
I love it a lot. It's Seth MacFarlane's humor, but not overly done. It's a little bit of quips and some jokes. There's definitely some that the humor goes a little bit more his direction. But the sci-fi portion of it is really good. The science is not accurate in the ways that make it more fun. The graphics are great. The characters are fun. I've enjoyed the series a lot.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that Seth MacFarlane, when Disney bought Fox, they're just like, here's my opportunity for a 3rd season. He got it. He didn't get more than that, but he got it.
And I think the whole reason he even did it at all was because it was his dream to do a sci-fi.
Yeah. That's what I wanted.
So he then used his his power a little bit within the industry to kind of make it happen, but didn't do it wrong.
Yeah.
I think because it is a busy area. You have Star Trek and Star Wars and Expanse and Battlestar Galactica and Stargate. You have tons of different series out there that do the same thing, but none that really focus on comedy as being a center point, and I really like that.
They did feel more grounded in the Orville than a lot of other series. They felt more like just people doing their job in space.
Because they're just an exploration vehicle, which is kind of the excuse to go and do fun things, really. But
they're not like in Star Trek. Everybody tends to be a little uptight.
Yeah,
I love Next Gen, but everybody on that ship is super uptight. Whereas on the Orville, they're like, yeah, no, we have a job, but this is also kind of our home, and these are our friends, and we do the best we can. Or in Star Trek, somebody's going to scream like protocol for the first 10 minutes of the episode. Again, love Star Trek, but you know, it's a little different atmosphere. And then Star Wars just has space wizards. Being uptight. And Derpy looks good in that basket.
I don't know if I could even swap to Derpy if I wanted to at this point, because they are different models.
Yeah, but the only thing it affects is the head. You got that inside of a basket.
So then why would it matter if it's Derpy or not?
Because that's a butt shot.
I'm gonna put her in a spacesuit.
You did that for a video that you never finished. But I remember.
What one?
Petra's Farm remembers.
What Derpy space video?
It wasn't Derpy at the space. You put a pony in a space.
Oh, yeah, that was for the promo for Cider Fest that definitely wasn't going to get done. I was going to actually try to do one again this year. I even messaged them, though I didn't get to the person I needed, and they didn't give me what I needed, and I was just going to try to message another way, and I'm like, you know what? No. I'm not going to bother. I liked doing some things for the con, but it's stuff like that burns me out, so I decided, nah. I'm just gonna call it good.
You burnt out? Never.
Last year was the rough year for burnout.
I could tell.
By year end, I was not doing great.
I'm just here to make you drink another beer.
Doing a lot better now that things are.
Am I gonna be that like agent who just sits by and every time I'm like, man, I just don't feel it, I just hand you like a fistful of pills? I'm gonna be that Comfortably Numb from Pink Floyd.
No.
The road of the artist. Artiste.
Well, last year sucked.
I mean, you can say that some stuff is just the same thing over and over again, but David Gilmour has been singing The Wall for like 50 years.
Okay, so last year sucked, but
Yeah.
Germany was the best part of the whole year.
Germany was amazing.
Germany was the highlight of the year, and I think actually that's why things were worse when I got back, because it was like a lot of stuff were rough, and then I finally had like a week off, but when I came back, it all came crashing back, and I had to deal with a lot of stuff really quick when we got back with painting and then the floor problems, and I think that just really quickly threw me down a hole.
Well, then we got the couch downstairs and everything. There was this feeling of just like, I know the couch was a small thing compared to many things, but there was this sense of like relief when that came downstairs, of recent memory. Like, yay. Then I got the pinball machine to work the same weekend. I was happy.
We got a lot of stuff done this last weekend.
A lot of things worked out, which is odd. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to things working out. There's generally like a hurdle or two you have to jump. I see Argos ponies in the back though. How are we doing? Yeah, I know, Ice. I know. I'm disappointed too.
Yeah, just getting the details on this one. I did a kind of a cheap version of the walk before, and going through and trying to get it cleaned up a bit. There's a lot of little nuances, like the feet were sliding across the ground. Now they're they're locked in place and not moving. It's amazing how the simple act of having a leg not quite really locked to the ground and shifting just a little bit will throw off somebody's attention completely. The moment that I got those locked, it just completely changed the whole feel of the shot to me.
See you, Biden. Bye.
Yeah, see you later, Biden. Yeah, we're gonna be out of here in just a second here anyway.
I'm gonna go play a game in the other room. It taunts me every time I walk past it. I am worried about messing up his setup though.
Why?
Like, you can play video games, but if any of that is not in order, he will throw a brick he keeps under the desk.
Well,
my head.
I did put all the games in alphabetical order.
Yeah, he did.
And the Adam comes over there, and I said, "Oh, there's nothing behind it. So if you push them for right now, it's going to go backwards. We'll get something for that later." And I had them all in alphabetical order. He pulled out a bunch and then just put them back in random orders. And I'm like, they're in alphabetical order to make things easier to find. Except for I didn't do that for the cartridges, because the cartridges are a little harder. It's not like a single thing across. It's like multiple columns.
Yeah.
Alphabetizing that is much harder because you get one new one and suddenly you have to shift all of them over. It's more annoying. And those cartridges are sometimes hard to read because the text is really small or it's worn off. Yeah. I don't even know what some of them
Some
call.
of them are, well, our cartridges are not collectible quality, a lot of them. But it doesn't matter as long as they play. That's all I care about.
Okay, so thankfully the transition to this one is about the same. There's not much I have to really do here. I kind of want to add something back here, like say to add a little extra detail. But if I do, it's going to distract a little bit from being able to see this, I think. So I don't know.
Rotten food.
I could just throw trash.
Rotten foods, rotten apples. I'm just thinking like that basket he's trying to get into the back.
Oh,
of.
there's
like rotten food
like
at the back.
Piles of
We need some rotten food in the streets.
These ones.
This is like brick. Like they tried paving a road.
Let's see, these ones come up with these like big packs of stuff. Thought I had another one over here. I'm looking at the wrong shot. I think it's this one. Yeah, I'm not seeing the trash that I want.
This Ponyville needs more trash.
Yeah, I'm gonna find some trash.
No, rude. This is fun. Need like rotten food.
Some of that is included. But see, there's this, and some of these are really nice from Esther, but because it was no interaction with anything, they built it all to be an overlay on top of a very specific map, and it's annoying. I'm not seeing.
You haven't gone that far down.
I did, but ooh.
It's cans.
That's the one I already looked at.
Bottles, cups.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, keep going. I want more rotten food. I guess this is all Fallout stuff, so there's not much in the way.
No, these are from, if I remember right, Dead Rising. The pack I have is a multi-pack from a lot of things. I know like Arkham Asylum and stuff is one of them, but I'm pretty sure Dead Rising is in there too. If I remember right, some like name of a company was on something that was specific to that game.
Big derp. Big sniff. Like, what you guys got? Some trash? I like trash.
Derpy likes trash.
Yeah.
According to Michael.
He's a recycler. Yes, big derp. If they're buried in the ground a little bit, it makes it seem like they've been there a long time.
I'm just trying to spin it so that I don't, because like if I have the box there in a weird position, it's hard to see what it is. I kind of like right about there. I feel like it does stand out a bit.
Just bury it a bit.
I feel like cup is just too bright. That's better. The cup's a little hidden. You know, so if I copy this and we put it in this shot too. That's fine. Okay, we'll just stick with that. That fills up a little bit more. I'm fine with that. And this also gives implication as to why you push forward and kind of get stopped because you get the rough stuff.
Mm-hmm. He stopped moving.
I do have to have him like fall over too. I was like, why is that lighting weird? But that's the
look, it's the love card.
I haven't done that one yet.
Love card, baby, love card.
Okay, we'll hold there. Big deer frame instruments. Oh, yeah, leaving us here is in a basket. Yes, sorry, I'm missing tomorrow. Okay.
Put the ball in the basket.
We gotta send you guys somewhere though. I think I've said to remind me later on this like 5 times. I don't know. I get it. I think we're just streaming next Friday again. I think we're on the normal schedule for right now. Who on? We got Jin. Oh, Jin hasn't been on in forever.
No, they're on all the time, just not when you are.
Oh, yeah, but like it used to be on almost all the time we saw him, but just I don't know. I haven't seen him for a bit. This weekend going to be hot. Yeah, it's gonna be like 90. It's gonna be 90 for like 3 days, and then it's gonna be back in the 70s.
Well, the fair's starting up here in a couple days.
It's gonna be a rough. Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah,
it's gonna be rough for this weekend for fair. Yeah, it's 2 weeks till Labor Day in America. Which I couldn't like. Holy crap! August went quick. So yeah, I'll send you guys his way. Look at the juice.
They exploded. No, what are they playing?
Warhammer 40k Speed Freaks. That looks like Crossout.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it like a Warhammer version of Crossout?
I like the faces. Those are good.
No,
I guess when he screams, it does that.
No, he's not screaming. He's just drinking soda.
He's got so many drinks.
No, soda. Gotta drink my shake.
It should be spitting soda. Okay, we'll head that way though. 90s by Monday. Yeah. But we'll send you guys your way.
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna get Cheez-Its. Dash never gets tired of the Cheez-Its. Game looks fun. I'm surprised I haven't heard Jurassic scream about this game. Warhammer.
It's not quite the same. I don't know if he plays Empire or the Imperium. Bob, one of the other guys we know that he plays against, I think does the goblins and stuff.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dylan, for the cheers, and thank you to Server and Sunset for murdering them bots.
Adios, Edward.
Yeah, bye-bye, Niski, bye-bye, Ice, bye-bye, Biting. Oh, Biting's already gone. Those are people I've spoken recently, so. Oh, you gotta buy something.
Bye-bye.
Bum, 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 bum. Cheez-It Dash.
Cheez-It Dash. Cheez-It, yeah.
Cheese, yes. It's a bye.
All right.